Hello everyone, my name is Shubham Saga. So what happened was I compiled a list of 50 most important current affairs for UPSC EPFO 2024, which is or 2025 rather, which is scheduled this month on 30th. So my name is Shubham Saga. You can connect with me on LinkedIn. These are my credentials. You can have a look at it. So when I shared this particular PDF, which is in two parts, including PYQs and MCQs. So people were like, sir, maybe, and these, like most of the current affairs for this particular year, UPSC EPFO will be coming from these two PDFs only, which I'll be sharing, and these 50 articles which we'll be discussing. So again, and if you can kill me, if it does not happen, you have all my credentials. This is my Telegram channel. I do daily Hindu analysis at 8 a.m. and I upload that particular PDF in this Telegram channel. So you can join this Telegram channel so that you are updated with these current affairs daily. So this is good. Like, UPSC EPF for 2025 is there and we have to revise it. For that, this is good. But in general, when you are reading current affairs, the basic premise should be that you are reading it daily so that, you are not reading it in bulk at the same time, which sometimes increases your heartbeat level. So let's start the discussion. Let's start the 50 most important current affairs for UPSC EPF for 2025. Let me cross check again. I have OCD whether my voice etc is coming fine or not, because I generally do live and this is a recorded video, so everything is fine, guys. Let's continue. So what is one of the most important thing, or what are the one, like, when you're reading or when you're seeing UPSC EPF for 2025 current affairs, what you have to understand is you have to see UPSC EPFO previous year questions as well as UPSC CSE and the other exams conducted by UPSC. We'll see that. And in that regard, UPSC has asked questions earlier from Nobel Prize. Not exactly who got Nobel Prize, but basically the attributes, like the different theories associated with Nobel Prize. We'll see the PYQs which UPSC has asked related to Nobel Prize. So different Nobel Prize has been given, economy, literature, this and that. So whenever you're reading them, read all of them at the same time. Parallel study, smart study, we call. You're reading PM, read CM at the same time. So this is the first most important article. Nobel Prize for Economic Science, given for what? So again, there are two types of knowledge. Three people have got this. These, this is exactly not exactly a Nobel Prize, because this economic science thing was added later on in this whole Nobel Prize criteria. We'll talk about that as well. So 2025, this Swigris Riksbank Prize in Economic Science, pardon me for the phonetics part, has been given to three people: Mocker, Aghion and Peter Howitt. See, if you're not able to remember the full name, just remember their last name. That will help you. Last name they will give you in UPSC EPF also, or in any other exam. So Mocker received half the prize. What they are talking about in this particular Nobel Prize, so-called Nobel Prize of Economic Science, which is, some people say, not exactly a Nobel Prize. So they are talking about two types of knowledge. One is your theoretical knowledge, and other is how you will apply two components: propositional knowledge and prescriptive knowledge. Oh my God, propositional knowledge is how things work, theoretical model, and prescriptive knowledge, how you can make them work. So even earlier people thought about making airplane, etc., but after industrial revolution, more and more propositional knowledge has to be converted, or were able to, or was, you were able to convert propositional knowledge into prescriptive knowledge. That's what they're talking about, and that's what these three guys are talking about. Mocker is telling why global growth accelerated, because we people knew how to convert our propositional knowledge to prescriptive knowledge. And then the other two guys, they will talk about creative destruction, etc. This creative destruction theory, Aghion and Howitt, what they are saying, they're saying that we have to be ready to adapt. See, there is World Economic Forum, they keep on talking about reskilling revolution. You have to continuously adapt yourself to the changing scenarios, changing realities of the world. You have to like, what happens, what is the one demerit? People talk about government job, etc. You become accustomed to 10 to 5, you're not ready to change. But when this is the age when you have to change, in the age of AI, big data, etc., creative destruction. Innovation will replace old technologies, and we have to be ready for reskilling, skilling, and reskilling ourselves. Cool. Overall significance, they talk about comprehensive understanding. They're also talking about a balance which has to be maintained here. It's not like every innovation is an awesome innovation and it will lead to a lot of changes. So we have to understand what innovation, R&D, research and development work has to be done more on, what innovation we can ignore. All these things have been talked about in this particular theory, like propositional and prescriptive and whatever knowledge we have just discussed. So propositional, prescriptive knowledge, hope you understood the basic gist. We don't have to do PhD. Detailed discussion I have done. I have written the dates also here. 15th October 2025. So you can watch my Hindu analysis of 15th October 2025 for detailed discussion on this topic. But for now, for EPFO, this will suffice. Let's solve some question. MCQ. which is based on the current thing which we have just discussed. So what is the answer? Pause me right now whenever you're seeing these MCQs, and you can write in the comment section how many MCQs you got correct. That will help you in maintaining or ensuring discipline when it comes to your study. So the answer is B, Mocker, Agion, and Howitt. Next question, Mocker's framework, what is useful knowledge? What was the basic criteria of useful knowledge? Again, pause me, think about what we have just discussed and answer your question, and then unpause me. The answer is propositional knowledge and prescriptive knowledge. Very good, yeah. The second article, again, I have clubbed together all Nobel Prize at the same time. So second most important article related to Nobel Prize in Literature, which has been given to Krasna Horkai. Who is Krasna Horkai? When you see the images of these personalities, I'm audible, yes. So you remember them in a much better manner. So this sir here is Laszlo Krasna Horkai. In this particular period, when there are so many wars going on, so he writes on apocalypse and all those stuff, and his words make a lot of sense in current day and world. So Hungarian author Laszlo Krasna-Horkai, he has been awarded this 2025 Nobel Prize in Literature. So again, two wars are going on globally, Russia-Ukraine war, and then what other war is going on, Israel, Hamas, and other stuff. What two wars they're talking about, guys? If you know it, I can post it in the comment section. So he's the master of apocalypse, and he talks about operation, hopelessness, and all these stuff. Again, we don't have to do PhD here. We are here to revise everything. And his books have been translated and made into movies as well, and he has talked about so many things. So again, just remember the name, what he is known for, and why he has been given Nobel Prize. Let's solve some questions so that you can remember stuff in a much better manner. Again, pause me and then try to unpause and to tell me at the end, in the comment section, how many questions we discussed today and how many questions you got right. So highlighting the importance of apocalyptic, and again, this is a tongue twister rather, and serious literature in a world of conflicts. Very good. Nobel Prize 2025 was awarded. Peace Prize, again. Peace Prize was given to, like, Donald Trump is here, there, everywhere. Sometimes he's like, you two countries fight. I will ensure peace between you because you want Peace Prize. But he was not given a Peace Prize. There is a follower of his. He calls that ma'am a follower, and that ma'am is Maria Corina Machado, Venezuela. It is said that Machado is a follower of Trump because she wants US intervention in Venezuela. So this is again an evolving development. I keep on talking about it in my Hindu daily analysis. You can watch it also. So this ma'am is Machado, and she has, devoted or dedicated is the right word, her award, Peace Prize to Trump because he needs it more. Again, there are different political diplomatic angle involved here. Just remember, Nobel Peace Prize, Maria Karina Machado. In our time, there used to be a song, Dhoom Machado, Dhoom Machado, Dhoom. That means, Dhoom Dhoom. Again, that means let's have fun and let's have some. Okay, third most important article of the 50 most important articles for UPSC to EPFO 2025. Chemistry Nobel Prize has been given for what? It has been given for, again, it's not three, some guys. Okay, three people have got this award for metal organic framework. What is metal organic framework? Generally, it is believed that in chemistry, you are creating, big things which are very closely packed, but now they are making something where there is so much space. So you have these metal ions, and then you have these organic molecules. Organic molecules generally made up of hydrogen and carbon. They are the building blocks of life, fats. Anything you talk about, these are like basically organic molecules. What is the basic definition of organic molecules? Let me show you something. So organic molecules, building blocks of life and matter, sugar, fat, protein, anything and everything. Most of the things are made of organic molecules. So how they have made this MOF, metal organic framework? They have joined these metal ions. They are joined by these organic molecules, organic linkers, and the space in between is empty. So what we can do using these metal organic framework, we can trap gases. These are empty spaces which can be used for so many different things. So again, it's a good thing because we want to trap GHG, greenhouse gases, in the context of global warming. So that is a basic rationale of metal organic framework. Again, we don't have to do PhD here. We just have to understand chemistry Nobel Prize was given for what? So metal organic framework, special materials made of metal ions and organic molecules, porous sponge-like crystals, which can trap different things, which can hold and release gases and even breathe as molecules moved in it. Again, so who have like got this? Richard Robson showed three people. They have got this particular Nobel Prize in chemistry. These Nobel guys, as we have just discussed, they love these. So Robson, Kitagawa, and do remember for what? And then Omar Yagi. These three people they have got. Together, three scientists created a new way of designing materials, allowing thousands of metal organic framework to be made. Cool. So they honors the idea that chemistry can design empty space as well, not just solid matter. And metal organic framework is one such awesome example. What is metal organic framework? You can have a look at it, and we have just seen the example. Let's solve some questions so that we can remember it. So in MOF, metal organic framework, the role of organic molecule is to do what? Chepandi is chepu telsu ledu kadu, guys. That means, tell me, what do you think can be the role? So these organic molecules, they're not replacing, they serve as linkers connecting metal ions in a framework. If you see again, these organic molecules, they're connecting metal ions and thereby creating this empty space, so-called empty space. So the answer is C. Cool. Whenever you see a question, pause me before I give you the answer. Unique feature of metal organic framework that contributes to sustainability is what? Their ability to be used as fuel, and think what we have discussed. Their non-porous dense structure, metallic electrical conductivity, ability to design empty space to trap molecules. The answer is D. Pause me. Whenever you see the question, just pause me there and then. Next article, fourth most important. Radical, again, we are in Nobel Prize, Physics Nobel Prize. See, guys, UPSC, different exams, more than the names, etc., they will ask you about these properties, metal organic framework, and you need to know these things. T-reg, we will talk about regulatory T cell when we'll talk about Nobel Prize in physiology or medicine. You have to understand these things. Like here we'll talk about in this radical tunnel, we'll talk about quantum computing. So quantum model. So there is one model which is applicable for macroscopic particles, big particles. We also talk about quantum gravity, etc. Then how electron, protons, etc. are working at the micro level. That study is known as quantum physics. So again, quantum physics and the application of quantum physics in macroscopic models like large electrical circuit, we did not know much about it. Now they have devised a Josephson junction. Again, you don't have to do PhD here. What you have to understand is they have shown that even for big particles, even for big entities, this quantum computing is working. Electric tunnel could means generally what happens when you're talking about large electrical circuits, and if electric current has to pass through that particular circuit, then you need energy. But what was seen in this particular junction, that even without energy, electric current could tunnel through the barrier. This only happens in quantum physics. When you talk about small electrons, they can be, let's say, like you think about this. This is a mountain and you built a tunnel. So according to quantum physics, let's say there is an electron here. This electron can be here and here at the same time. They can be particle and wave at the same time. So all these are features of quantum computing. We don't have to do PhD there. We just have to understand certain features of quantum particles was seen in macroscopic or large electrical circuit Josephson junction, which shows that even quantum activities or quantum rules can be applied to larger phenomena. So we still are studying about quantum physics. Even the teachers, the professors who teach quantum physics, they don't know what exactly is quantum physics. But yes, how electron, protons, etc. are working at a smaller level. So today the challenge is to keep quantum state stable for longer. So basically the application of quantum effect on a larger electrical model, that's what that is the basic rationale on which Nobel Prize of Physics has been given for 2025. What is quantum physics? How tiny particles behave. Superconductors, the keywords in this article. What are superconductors? Which conduct electricity without any resistance. Quantum computer. So as we have discussed, quantum particles, electrons, they can be particle and wave at the same time. They can be at A and B at the same time. So qubit. So we have bit system in computers, coding, 0 and 1. So qubit is quantum bit. They can be 0 and 1 at the same time. So all these words. And again, we'll see why we are reading these terms. Let's solve some question. Quantum tunneling, as we have just seen, you can revise it. What is the basic meaning? And again, this is a tough question. And try to answer it from what we have just discussed. And again, I'm reiterating the point. You can post it in the comment section how many questions you got correct. Quantum tunneling is particle passing through an energy barrier it classically cannot overcome. So there is quantum physics and then there is classical physics. Classical physics for macroscopic particles, bigger particles. And then you have quantum physics for microscopic particles. So the answer is B. Again, you can have a look at it, you can revise it. It's a tricky part, guys. So not everything will be very simple, but we are revising it from EPFO perspective. So we are keeping it short and succinct. If you want to have a detailed discussion, you can always go, have written the dates here. 8th October 2025, you can go and have a look at my Hindu analysis. The videos are there in the live section. So quantum tunneling rather, B is the answer. PYQ UPSC 2022, what is the answer? Pause me right now and think about it. That's why we will discuss this qubit thing as well. Voice is fine, everything is fine, very, very, very good. So PYQ UPSC 2022. Which one of the following is the context in which the term qubit is mentioned? UPSC asked it in 2022. You're talking about UPSC CSE and anything like UPSC NDA, CDS, all these exams, PIQs, you have to revise. Anything and everything can be asked in EPFO. So qubit, quantum computing. B is the answer. Very good. MCQ. John Clark, Michael Doverett, and John Martinez. These are the people who got Nobel Prize in Physics. Understand from UPSC perspective, we're not preparing for any one-day exam, etc. With due respect to all the exams, in UPSC they will ask you, rather than the names, they will ask you the theories. What, why this whole thing happened? What was the thing which we were discussing? Like why they got Nobel Prize in Physics or Chemistry? What was the basic? Now again, see these options and try to, this is a tough question. Many people may answer A, but the answer is macroscopic quantum effect in electrical circuit. We are trying to see how quantum physics works in macroscopic model, that macroscopic electrical circuit. Quantum physics works on microscopic model. You may feel like quantum tunneling word is there, but quantum tunneling is subatomic particles, electron, proton. We are not reading here. We are demonstrating. Nobel Prize in Physics is a demonstration of how quantum physics can work even on microscopic model, in this scenario electrical circuit, big electrical circuit. Fifth most important article. Again, Nobel Prize in Physiology or Medicine, which has been given for Treg, regulatory T cells. So our immune system is there, which protects us from foreign agents, foreign bad agents. But they protect us, antibodies and all. But how will they understand whether these are they are protecting us from infection, etc.? What is the mechanism which ensures that they are not attacking our own cells? They attack foreign agents. How this thing is known to these immune system, the T cell, etc. So here, that is the study: autoimmune regulation, immunity. These cell and all these stuff, how they are recognizing patterns, what are foreign agents, what are the agents which are inside the body, so how they are ensuring that they are not attacking the immune system itself. So there is a work called regulatory T cell, Tregs. So T cell, you have different, WBC, white blood corpuscles. They are the part of our immune system, among other things, and they protect us from foreign agents. So regulatory T cell, these are the cells which ensures, if you have regulatory T cells, then it will prevent you from autoimmune disease. That means in that scenario, immune system will not attack your own body. But if these regulatory T cells are not there, then immune system will attack more, like there will be cases of more autoimmune diseases, as was seen in mice. So that means our body needs certain agents to tell this immune system that these are foreign agents and these are not. And what are those cells, like what are those entities which tell this immune system? These are T cells, and there is a specific version of T cell, Treg, regulatory T cells. So again, regulatory T cells, if they are there, and even these regulatory T cells, they are activated. They need a particular gene, which is known as FOXP3. Again, you may feel like this is so much technical, but what we have just discussed, our immune system, how it is not attacking our own body due to the presence of this regulatory T cells, and how regulatory T cell works. They need to have a gene which is known as FOXP3. So these discoveries establish that immune self-tolerance depends on a molecular switch, FOXP3. Again, you can read all these things. Hope you understood. Treg, regulatory T cells. Experimental theories. Now, if we have more and more regulatory T cells, there is a more and more chances that our body immune system will not attack the indigenous agents, and they will attack the foreign agents. But sometimes in the case of cancer, we need our immune system to attack some of our own cells, because we want to reduce those cancer cells. Then you have to reduce Tregs. If you don't want to attack your own cells, then you have to increase Tregs, and that is what they have written here. This is again a fascinating study. You have to revise it, and you can, again, hope you understood some part of it. You can go and watch my Hindu analysis of 7th October to get more clarity, but I think this will be enough. You don't need to do PhD right now. Maybe UPSC CSE next year, if you're giving, you can revise multiple times and you can watch those Hindu analysis. So 2025 Nobel Prize in Medicine given to these people, again, 3 people. Fascination with 3 people. Sakaguchi found a special type of immune cell, regulatory T cell, that prevent the immune system from attacking the body. And then this works via gene which is known as FOXP3. So if you want to, treat autoimmune disease, increase Tregs, and if you want to treat cancer, reduce Tregs, because then you want your immune system to attack some of your own body cells. So Nobel Prize, UPSC has asked questions on that. Established by Alfred Nobel, awarded every year on 10th December. Understand, physics, chemistry, physiology, that is medicine and literature and peace, they were the original fields in which Nobel Prize was given. This economy thing which we have discussed in the first, that was the first article, propositional and prescriptive knowledge, that was added later on, economy Nobel. And that's why many people are like, no, that is not actual Nobel Prize, because Alfred Nobel did not come up with this. It was added almost 67 years after the first award was given. So again, you can see all these components, who awards it. Let's solve some questions so that we can remember it. So MCQ, regulatory T cells are primarily responsible for what? Again, choose the best option, guys. Choose the best option. That's what UPSC also says. Preventing the immune system from attacking the body. C. PYQ UPSC 2006. We have just discussed. Nobel Prize awarding ceremony takes place, this and that. You read these options. What is the correct option? Pause me. First is correct. Second is wrong. Nobel Prize for Literature was not added later on. Economics was added later on. So the answer is A, one only. Sixth article of the day, ADB, Asian Development Bank, cuts India's growth forecast because of Donald Trump and his tariff policies. That's fine. We can understand. What is important from exam perspective is when you read these ADB, you have to read two other organizations at the same time, AIIB and NDB. So Asian Development Bank, Manila, Philippines is their headquarter. Then you have China Bank, AIIB, Asian Infrastructure Investment Bank. After A comes B, so their headquarters is in Beijing. And then you have BRICS Bank, New Development Bank, which came after the Fortaleza Declaration of 2014. UPSC is already asked a PYQ on Fortaleza. Where is Fortaleza, guys? If you know it, post it in the comment section. So the headquarters of NDB, BRICS Bank, is in Shanghai. Remember these facts. ADB, Asian Development Bank, Japan means US, they have a major say. AIIB, China has a major say. In BRICS Bank, New Development Bank, all these countries, they are equally important. So these are the facts, and you can have a look at other facts which you can see which are important. But these facts are important. ADB, AIB, where is their headquarter, which is led by which country, what is BRICS Bank known as. So we should know these things. And then the growth forecasting, you can have a look at it. Because of what Trump is doing, tariff hike, this and that, this thing has happened. And these are fluctuating things. We don't need to worry too much about it. Now let's solve a PYQ based on what we have discussed. New Development Bank has been set up by a PAC. Headquarter of New Development Bank is in Shanghai. Pause me and solve this question. New Development Bank, not set by a PAC. This is BRICS Bank. You have just seen it. Go back, and their headquarters is in Shanghai. So the answer is B2 only. Just see what we have discussed. New Development Bank is a BRICS bank. Came after the Fortaleza Declaration. I have asked you where is Fortaleza. If you know it, post it in the comment section. Next article, seventh most important article. Astrosat, India's first space observatory. So it is in space. It is observing space. Because in space there are so much less disturbance, so less light pollution, this and that. So that's why we have this observatory in space, Astrosat. It has completed 10 years, launched in 2015. UPSC has already asked PYQs on it. And India is not the only country which has these kind of space observatory. China has it, Japan has it. You will see. I will just show you. So China, Japan, Europe, USA, all these countries, they have their own space astronomy observatories. What are the things which are important? What is the weight? You may feel like, sir, why we are reading weight? UPSC, EPFO and all. Why will they ask weight? UPSC has already asked about weight. 1500 kg in low Earth orbit, 650 km above Earth's surface. So remember these facts, they are actually important. It has completed 10 years. So again, it becomes important. Since UPSC has already asked a PYQ on it, very important. Launched from where? Sriharikota. Where is Sriharikota? In which particular state? If you know it, post it in the comment section. So originally it was supposed to complete its work by 2050, originally designed for 5 years, but it has completed 10 years. Awesome. Study black holes. You can see all the things which they have studied. They have different kind of things, payload instruments to observe universe in different wavelengths. Again, we don't have to do PhD here. These are the facts which are actually important. Keep it in mind. The mass, which other countries has it, where is it located, all these things. Let's solve some questions so that you can remember it. This is the PYQ asked by UPSC on Astrosat. Try to solve this question, guys. With reference to Astrosat, which of the following statement is or are correct? Pause me. So again, not USA, Russia, India is not the only country. US and means Japan and China, they also have it. So first is wrong. Use option elimination. Be it UPSC, EPFO, CSE, option elimination works like a charm. So now you're left with B and D. Astrosat is not 2000 kilo satellite, neither it is placed in 1650 kilometer. We have just discussed. All these data are different. The answer is D, neither. 1500, 650 kilometer. So the answer is D, neither. Tough question, not an easy question. So next article, eighth most important article. New farming technology hold potential to stop desertification. Rajasthan is going through desertification because of Thar desert. So we want to grow certain crops there. We want to stop the process of desertification, which is also mandated by UNCCD, United Nations Convention to Combat Desertification. It is one of the 3 organizations which emerged out of Rio Summit of 1992, right? So now this whole article is important, but this is an excuse for us to read about these 3 organizations: UNCCD, UNFCCC, and UNCBD, Convention on Biological Diversity. Now here there are different protocols or different summits which emerged, Cartagena, Nagoya, what they are associated with. If you know it, post it in the comment section. Here we are talking about UNCCD, but the most important out of all three is UNFCCC, United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change. COP30 is going on right now. Where what is the location of COP30, guys? Again, if you know it, post it in the comment section. Which SDG they are catering to? All these things are very important. So what has happened in Rajasthan? In desert soil, they are growing certain stuff using bioformulation. Oh my god, bioformulation is what? Using, they're using molecules, they're using bacteria, etc., organic molecules and microorganisms to increase water retention capability of desert soil. So that's what they are doing. They have grown wheat for the first time. Central University of Rajasthan. Rajasthan is very awesome in this regard. They do a lot of good things. The aim is to halt Thar desert expansion in NCR region. I keep on giving this example to people. There is a place called Agra in UP. It is going through desertification because of the wind erosion which is happening from Rajasthan, and we have to stop this process. This is actually important. Cool. So you can have a look at all the things, what else is happening here, what is bioformulation, use of microbes, etc., to increase water retention, and organic molecules they also use in bioformulation. Where it has happened, Rajasthan. And then the other stuff. What is the basic difference between CCD, FCC, and CBD? From which particular summit they emerged? Rio Summit of 1992. Very important. UPSC has already asked multiple PYQs. This Rio Summit is also known as Agenda 21. Again, UPSC PYQ has been asked because they're talking about the agendas of 21st century. So all these things are important, guys. Let's solve question MCQ. Again, what is bioformulation? What we have just discussed. Choose the best option. The answer is B. A mixture of beneficial microbes and polymers used to enhance soil and plant growth. Ninth most important articles. Let me check my OCD. Very good. Everything is fine. Voice is fine. Che Pandes. So our workers' rights being eroded. So again, this article is about different kind of accidents which are happening, Sigachi industries, and how the number of hours people are working has increased. There are different big personalities who are talking about working 12 hours a day and this and that. So workplace accidents are happening. All these things are fine. This is again an excuse for us to read about International Labour Organization, which regulates these works. Founded in 1919, one of the specialized UN agency. Now this is your homework, guys. So there are 6 permanent organs of UN. One is not working. That is Stewardship Council. So whenever you talk about specialized UN agencies, UNESCO, it is a specialized UN agency. And so it has to be a part of one of these permanent organs. So it is a part of ECOSOC. Similarly, this is your homework. Find out ILO is a specialized UN agency formed in 1919, headquarters in Geneva. It is a part of which permanent organ of UN? It is a part of ECOSOC or General Assembly or Secretariat or Security Council or International Court of Justice. If you know it, post it in the comment section. These are important things. International Labour Organization, they work on tripartite structure. What is tripartite? They will involve government, employers, worker representative. This is actually an awesome model. As our Honorable PM Sir says, Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas. India is a member. So keep these facts in mind. And then there are certain conventions of ILO which deals with child labor 138 and 182. Minimum age convention, worst form of child labor. We should know these because UPSC has already asked questions on them. Now let's go back to the article, which this article is like, again, you can understand these articles, they are an excuse for UPSC also to ask questions related to ILO, and that's how you have to understand. And the more you read current affairs, the more you understand the pattern these guys are following, the more you see the PYQs. So recent workplace accident, you can see here what has happened. This article is saying that you know there has been a shift from pro workers policy to pro company policy, which is being happening here, and there is no criminal accountability for employers. There is a major gap which government has to look into. Maharashtra, they do self certification of compliance that they are doing all the things correctly. Okay, Karthik calling Karthik. So move safety from a legal right to government discretion. Multiple old laws have been replaced, and you can see working hours has been increased. Karnataka long working hours. So maybe we should think from the perspective of workers. This is what this article is saying. I had done a detailed discussion on this article from different perspective. Which day this article appeared? 9th October 2025. So you can have a look at it. Cool. ILO we have just discussed 138, 182. Now let's solve this question on ILO. Tripartite structure, specialized agency of UN headquartered in Geneva. Both these statements are correct, guys. The answer is B. Pause me whenever you see the question. This is a PYQ. What is the answer? Pause me. The answer is A. Child labor. 10th most important article published on 19 September 2025. Attack on one of us is an attack on both, says Saudi Arabia, Pakistan Pact. So Israel has attacked Qatar, which was seen as a major deviation. Like nobody saw it coming because America is one of the largest bases in Qatar, and Qatar is helping America. Qatar is acting as a mediator. So nobody expected Israel to attack Qatar, and that's why Saudi Arabia-Pakistan pact has been signed, because Saudi Arabia has held Pakistan a lot in their nuclear program, this and that. And now, if they feel like if Israel attacks Saudi Arabia, then Pakistan will attack Israel. All these things will happen. But many people feel like if India attacks Pakistan, then will in that case Saudi Arabia will attack India again. Many people believe this is a thing which we have to keep a tab on. So again, one of the Gulf Cooperation Council countries, they have taken this step. Gulf Cooperation Council, you can see the countries which are involved: Saudi Arabia, Kuwait, Qatar, Oman, UAE, and then you have Bahrain, 6 countries. And it was initially formed to combat Iran and its policies. So Iran is not a member. Remember this: Gulf Cooperation Council, UPSC has asked questions on it. So Saudi, and they can ask you, like, this is not directed towards India, but indirect implication will be felt by India. Saudi Pakistan Defense Pact, close clause. Even attack on either nation will be considered an attack on both. It's like NATO or NATO in Europe and Western European countries. Again, you can see why this has happened, because Israel struck Qatar, and they felt like some of the Hamas leaders were there, and nobody saw it coming, and that's why the Gulf nation Saudi Arabia has done this, and they have strong relationship. Pakistan and Saudi Arabia, we have to keep a close tab on what these two countries are doing. These ties deepened after Iran's 1979 Islamic Revolution. So again, Pakistan's enemy Iran, Saudi Arabia's enemy Iran, all these things. And first major Gulf defense move since Qatar attack. So you can have a look at it. What is important from exam perspective? Gulf Cooperation Council, you do more research on it. Write in the comment section, where is the headquarter? When was it formed? These are the countries. Iran is not a member. In fact, it is directed against Iran, so obviously it will not be a member. Let's solve some question. One of the strategic signals of Saudi-Pakistan pact is directed towards which country? Choose the best option. Not directed towards India, Israel, because of Israel attack. But again, we can understand indirect implication will be felt by India. Which of the following is not a member of GCC, asked by UPSC? So the answer is Iran. 11th most important article, Lingayat community, Karnataka caste census. Who are these Lingayats? So class 7 chapter 6, class 12 chapter 6, they talk about Lingayat. I'm also doing a history through NCRT series. If you want to be a part of history through NCRT series, you can send me a WhatsApp message at 9650 303257. Very good. So there I'm discussing all these NCRT chapters chapter by chapter. Each video length is around between 15 to 28 minutes. So class 7 chapter 6, they talk about Baswana's Veer Saivism, where they worshipped Shiva, and they were against all forms of ritual and idol worshipping. They were actually a revolutionary movement. They talked about equality of human beings, against caste system and all. In Hinduism, what happens? There is a cremation which happens. We cremate the dead, but they bury the dead. So this is the difference between us and the Lingayas. So now there's a protest which is going on in Karnataka. They want a separate religion. So what is happening here? Lingayas believe that on death, the devotee will be united with Shiva. Therefore, they do not practice funerary sites such as cremation. They bury the dead. Remember these facts. Lingayas, and they had their own bhakti songs. These were known as vachanas. Like in Maharashtra, there the bhakti songs, etc., which were composed, they were known as abhangas. So remember these words, guys. They are actually important. Baswanna. There are some difference between Veer Sevas and Lingayats, although NCRT used them synonymously. So just give me a second. So this is Vachinas, and again. So what is happening here? This article is about, for the time being, Lingayats, and inside Lingayats there are different communities and there are different divisions. They are saying that for the time being they will use Hinduism as their religion, but they want a separate religion, and there are meetings which are going on. What, like, because as we have just seen, what is the basic difference between them? They bury rather than cremating. There are other differences also. They're so against caste system, equality, and all. So they are talking about having a separate religion, and that's why they were in news. They are in news one way or the other, guys. They are very important from every exam perspective, including UPSC, EPFO, CSA, etc., etc. So Veer Shaiva, religious reformist Shaiva sect. Lingayat, they worship Shiva, Hindu god. Lingayat, socio-religious identity derived from Veer Shaiva movement, and Hindu is an umbrella identity, which many, Lingayats, etc., they are saying that they want a separate religion. So that is the talk which is going on. Let's solve this question. Use option elimination. That will help you in solving these tricky questions. Emerged in 12th century, worship Shiva while stealing. It does not follow caste hierarchy. That's what we were discussing. That's what NCRT is discussing. So third is wrong. You can eliminate B, C, D, and B, C, and D. The answer is A, 1 and 2 only. And these are fine. And you can join my history through NCRT series. You can see the price here. For any queries, you can send me a WhatsApp message at 9650303257. 12th article, 12th most important. There is a scheme, PM Vishwakarma scheme. Very important because in UPSC EPFO, you have economy and you have all the other things. So what is PM Vishwakarma scheme? Launched in 2023. It is about promoting our art and culture, our heritage, etc. So here collateral free loan is given. We'll talk about the basic features. But first of all, what is important is PM Vishwakarma scheme. Launched in 2023, they can ask you the launch here. They are supporting 18 traditional artisans and crafts people, by giving them loans, by providing them training, etc. Collateral free loans. What is collateral free loans? So when we ask for loans from bank, they want some of our, land deposit, this and that. Here, that will not be the case because government tells these banks, whoever is providing collateral, we will help you. If they are not paying, we will pay a certain amount. So that's why these collateral free loans are given. But whenever collateral free loans are given, more scrutiny is done because more risk is involved. Government is not giving all the money. Government will get certain amount of money. So again, covers 18 traditional art and crafts, 18 traditional trades. We want to preserve our art, our heritage, our culture, and that's why PM Vishwakarma scheme. They can give you that, there is like collaterals are involved in this Vishwakarma scheme. No, collateral free loans. And they are about large industries. No, it is not about large industries. It is about supporting traditional arts, artisans and craft people. So these are some keywords which we have to keep in mind. And again, Gujarat is training 1.81 lakh artisan under PM Vishwakarma scheme. So again, these schemes are also very important from UPSC EPFO as well as other exam perspective. So loan has been sanctioned. Enrollment is done through common services center. So let's say in village area you want to get some Aadhaar, JAM, etc., some government benefits. So you have to go to these common services centers. You can think of them as cyber cafes in villages, but they're not exactly that. So again, you can see all these things we have just discussed. What is the objective? To preserve heritage craft and have a look at these basic points related to PM Vishwakarma scheme. Let's solve some questions so that you can solve or you can remember stuff in a much better manner. Collateral free loan, enrollment beneficiary done through common services center covers yes. All the options are correct. The answer is D, 1, 2, and 3. You can go back and revise the other features. Which of the following is not a primary objective of PM Vishwakarma scheme? Use option elimination. Not they're asking. Sometimes they do ask this in UPSC as well. So the answer is C. Promoting large-scale industrial manufacturing. That is not the purpose of this PM Vishwakarma scheme. 13th article, 13th most important article. Complex turn in India's FDI story. Amar Bahadur Yadav has written this article, 8 September 2025. So here again, they will talk about how FDI outflow is increasing. What does that mean? Just give me a second, guys. So FDI outflow means the amount of FDI which is going outside from our country that has increased a lot, and that's what this article is talking about. So they will talk about the outflow, but more than the outflow and the inflow factor, we are concerned with the FDI and FII thing, which you have to understand the basic difference. UPSC has asked questions on them a lot of times. So we'll talk about the other things. So FDI, foreign direct investment. Amazon is setting up a factory in Hyderabad. That is FDI. They're coming, they're giving management control, they're there for the longer haul, but they are confined to specific sectors. On the other hand, FII, FPI, Tom Cruise is investing some of his money in our bonds and our shares, equities, etc. So that is FII. It will give you liquidity, but they are not. And if somebody else, some other country is giving them more interest, they will go there. So it's short term, it's volatile, and it's hot money, as they say. Stock bonds, financial market. So FII, FPI, foreign institutional investment, foreign portfolio investment. So what this article is talking about? This article is talking about more money is going out from India than coming to India. So these foreigners, how they can take out their money from India? If we talk from FDI perspective, so disinvestment, they start selling. Let's say Amazon sell their investment in Hyderabad. Repatriation, they do have profits which they are getting from these businesses. So sending their profits back to their home country. So there has been a pattern which has been seen that inflow is what money is coming to India. Outflow is what money is going outside from India, and outflow has increased. Maybe they're lacking you know some confidence, and we have to, maybe because of this whole volatility in US policies. So outward FDI, what is going outside from India, and it will also include, let's say, SBI, LIC, ICICI, like our companies, SBI, LIC, let's focus on them. If they're investing in Ghana, USA, that will also be a part of outward FDI. So that has increased. inward or the money which is coming to India, that has decreased. So we have to think about it. But again, that is for a different time. And hope you understood the basic difference between FDI and FPI, FII. That is important. So have a look at this question and try to solve this. That will, like, the questions will give you or help you in understanding these things in a much better manner. So, what is the answer to this question? Third is wrong. FDI creates employment in industrial capacity. FDI or FII mainly provides liquidity. It has been interchanged. So third is wrong. The answer is A. So again, from 14th, like we will discuss it. There will be 4 parts of it, guys. So first 13 articles we have covered here. 14 to 25 will cover in part 2, which I will bring tomorrow. And then there will be 2 more parts. And revise these 4 parts. Most of the questions, if not all, will be coming from these articles, and the topics which we are discussing concepts also. If you want these PDFs, you can send me a WhatsApp message at 9650303257. So I will see you in the next part. Revise these parts. They are very important from like every angle. Hello everyone. Chipandis Chiputals Kadus. My name is Shivam Sagar, and today we'll talk about the second part and discuss the second part of 50 most important current affairs for UPSC EPFO 2025, which is scheduled on 30th November. So this is part 2, right? And in the first part, which we discussed yesterday, if you haven't seen it, you can watch it. So we have discussed 13 most important, and we'll start from the 14th article today. My name is Shubham Sagar. You can connect with me on LinkedIn. These are my credentials. Revise these 50 most important current affairs, guys. Most of the current affairs which will be asked on 30th November in EPFO, it will be coming from whatever we are discussing, most of them, if not all. And this is my Telegram channel. I do Hindu analysis every day at 8 a.m., Monday to Saturday rather, live at 8 a.m. So I upload those PDFs here. So you can join this Telegram channel so that you are updated or continuously updated with the current affairs part. Cool. So again, let's start without wasting any time, because time is very precious for you people right now. So 14th article, see, understand one thing. We'll discuss 50 important articles. So here we are talking about 14th article, COP30. We have talked about UNFCCC, CBD, CCD, in part 1 also, when we're talking about formulation, which happened in Rajasthan. Again, guys who have not watched part 1, you can watch part 1. Again, these are all standalone lectures also. You can see part 2 and then you can go and watch part 1. They're not interlinked. It's just that we're completing. There will be 4 parts, guys, and via 4 parts we'll be completing these 50 articles. And again, so COP30, and here we are talking about UNFCCC, United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change. Their COP30, which will be happening in Belém, Brazil, which has already happened now. It happened in November 2025, like Belém, Brazil. So COP30, Conference of Parties 30. We have discussed this in the first part, Rio Summit of 1992, which is also known as Agenda 21. From that, 3 organizations emerged: UNFCCC, UNCBD, and UNCCD. So things are important. I've already discussed this in part 1, so I'm not discussing it more. We will discuss things which we have not discussed. UNFCCC, their secretariat is in Bonn, Germany. UNFCCC Framework Convention on Climate Change. So this article is very important. Like COP30 is very important. It is happening in Brazil. Brazil is accused of cutting down Amazon forest, which is lung of the earth. So in that regard also, this COP30 is important. Trump has again withdrawn from US, like Paris climate deal. Now this is also important. Paris agreement was this particular COP. So it was COP21 of 2015. And again, they have pledged to limit global temperature to well below 2 degrees Celsius and ideally below 1 degree Celsius by 2100. 1 degree Celsius below what? So here they talk about, industrial, when the earlier they talk about whatever was the global temperature of Earth around 1850, 1900 AD. Let's say at around 1850 or 1900 AD, Earth's average temperature was 16 degrees Celsius. So the pledge is we will not let it increase beyond 18 degrees Celsius, preferably keep it below 17.5 degrees Celsius. Again, this is a hypothetical temperature, guys. I'm not saying this is the exact temperature. Cool. But again, people are believing that even if we fulfill our NDCs, nationally determined contribution, INDCs, even then we'll not be able to, and we will be rising by 2.6 degrees Celsius. And now Trump has withdrawn, which is again a not so good thing, because US, they're emitting a lot. They have emitted a lot in the past, and they're emitting currently as well a lot. So again, you can have a look at this. For more detailed analysis from UPSC CSE perspective, you can watch my Hindu analysis of 3rd September 2025. Right now, it is not needed for EPFO. For EPFO, the things which we have just discussed and which we have discussed in part 1 also. Paris Agreement part of which particular COP, and COP 30, UNFCCC, where is the Secretariat, Bonn, Germany, all these things are important. So again, let's solve some questions so that we can remember the facts which we have just discussed. UNFCCC, have a look at these options. Use option elimination, guys. And I've told you people, and I will keep on telling you people, solve questions, whatever we are discussing in these different parts, and keep a track of how many questions you are getting correct. And if you want, you can post it in the comment section. So if you see these statements, second is wrong. The UNFCCC Secretariat is not in Geneva, it is in Bonn, as we have just discussed. So second is wrong. Two options are gone. You're left with A and C. You just have to check the third one. Decisions under UNFCCC are taken at COP. That is exactly correct. And that's why these COPs happen. And COP 30 is happening in Belém, Brazil. So C is the answer, 1 and 3 only. Next MCQ, COP 30, where is it happening? Basic question. And these kind of, it's not like all questions which is asked by UPSC, EPF or other exams, CSE, etc. They're all tough. There are some questions which will be like this also, straightforward. Belém, Brazil, very good. Let me cross check because I have OCD. Everything is working fine or not. I think everything is Chapandis. That means everything is awesome. Next article, guys. 15th article, and it is about, again, economy related terms. They become more important from UPSC EPFO perspective because EPFO is employee provident fund. You have to deal with economy related things. So here there are terms, fiscal deficit, and for understand, again, the numbers are fine. That is okay. Nominal GDP, real GDP. So these are the terms which we have to understand. So our budget, it is there in GS mains paper 3 also, but again, we are not going from UPSC CSE perspective. So budget has two components, revenue and capital. Receipt means money is coming, expenditure means money is going. Capital receipt, again, money is coming. Capital expenditure, money is going. The way of money coming in revenue and capital receipt will be different. So revenue receipt, what are the different ways by which money is coming? Let's say, you know again, let's say government has invested in different companies, they are acquiring profits, etc. They will be getting money. So that is revenue receipt. What will be the expenditure in revenue expenditure part? So they are paying salaries, pension, etc. All these things will be in revenue expenditure. What is capital receipt? Government has taken some loan, etc. That will be there in capital receipt. Where will be disinvestment? Where will disinvestment lies? In disinvestment also, money will come towards government will, it will be in receipt. Which receipt, guys? If you know it, revenue or capital receipt? If you know it, post it in the comment section. And then capital expenditure, let's say capital asset creation, government is making some roads, etc. In that they will be spending money, that is capital expenditure. So if revenue expenditure is more than revenue receipt, then you will have revenue deficit rather. If capital expenditure more than capital receipt, you have capital deficit. And then here there is revenue deficit. Then there's something called as effective revenue deficit. And let's say overall we added revenue receipt, capital receipt, and revenue expenditure, capital expenditure. If our expenditure is more than receipt, then we have to do something called as borrowing. We have to lend money from outside. That becomes fiscal deficit. And then you have revenue deficit. And then let's say you have given some money to states for capital asset creation, grants for capital assets. If you subtract that grant which you have given to states, or which center has given to state, from revenue deficit, you will get effective revenue deficit. So these are terms which are important. Fiscal deficit is basically the borrowing part. Total expenditure minus revenue receipt plus non-debt capital receipt. Why not debt capital receipt? Because debt is actually borrowing and we are calculating that debt only in fiscal deficit. Revenue deficit we have just discussed. And then primary deficit, fiscal deficit minus interest payment. Let's say Modi ji is in government right now. Manmohan Singh ji has taken some loan on which he was paying some interest. So if from borrowing we are reducing the interest payment which we are paying on the loans which was taken by previous government, that is primary deficit. That is actually a principal amount of borrowing. So these are some points. Budget deficit, again, you can see this. So fiscal deficit, the borrowing part. And this article is basically talking about how it will be very difficult for us to meet fiscal deficit target. It will be very difficult for government to meet fiscal deficit target because the economy is not growing the way it should be growing because of Trump, his tariff policies, blah, blah, blah. Again, we are not concerned with the numbers. UPSC EPFO will not ask you the numbers. They will ask you these basic definition, basic meaning of terms. Nominal GDP, real GDP, what is the meaning here? So what is real GDP? So you see this particular example that will help you in understanding nominal and real GDP. 10 pence in 1 year, like first year, priced at 10 rupees, nominal GDP 100. 10 pence in year 2, no increase in goods. So, but the price has increased. So 150 nominal GDP. In the case of real GDP, in both years, the GDP will be 100 because they account for increase in goods. They don't account for inflation. Inflation is adjusted in real GDP. So you see this in second year also they have 100 only because they're not taking into account the inflation part. So real GDP they adjust their value for inflation. Nominal GDP does not do that. So all these things and all the facts and numbers are discussed here. Very important from EPFO and other examples perspective. You understand the basic rationale, what this article is talking, what is the basic meaning of nominal GDP, real GDP, revenue deficit, effective revenue deficit, primary deficit. All these terms are actually very important. When you solve questions, you remember them in a much better manner. So let's solve this question. Whenever you're seeing these questions, pause me and then try to solve it. So what is the answer, guys? The answer is B. Real GDP is adjusted for inflation while nominal GDP is not. Second question, what is fiscal deficit? Have a look at all the options and choose the best one. The answer is total expenditure minus revenue receipt plus non-debt capital receipt, because you don't include debt here. The debt is borrowing, and that is what fiscal deficit is concerned with. C is the answer. Cool. Revise these things multiple times. They are very important. 26th August 2025, new online gaming act. There were some people, I was in another organization. I made a video on how these things can be banned, Dream 11. And people are like, no, 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 please don't ban Dream 11. We are investing rupees 49. We are earning 51. We are 2 rupees people. But yes, and these people, they are very big and they have so much say and influence in government. So that's why it will never be banned, but it has been banned. But the issue is not as straightforward in online gaming. There are 3 types of online gaming which we have to understand. And what are these 3 different types of online gaming? Let's try to understand what exactly government has banned, or put restrictions on. So there are 3 types of online games, and we have to understand these things, guys. They are important. So esports, your Call of Duty, GTA, etc. Social gaming, you play Ludo and whatnot. If you know some other stuff on your phone, Candy Crush. So these are social gaming. In a way, you're learning certain social aspects also when you're playing these games. And then the real money games. So government is focusing here. They have banned this and they are putting restrictions here. Social gaming, in fact, they are promoting. Government is promoting. Government is taking out money from Consolidated Fund of India. If you know which article of Indian Constitution deals with Consolidated Fund of India, you can post it in the comment section. They're thinking about promoting social gaming, Ludo, Candy Crush, because in a way it is inculcating behavioral changes in kids, which is actually good. Esports, they are saying that okay, it can go on. These Call of Duty, GTA, they also involve some money, not as much money like real money games, but yes, they involve money. They can continue, but they have to register. That's what require registration with regulatory authority. That's what National Sports Governance Act is talking about. So do remember the banning, the ban aspect is associated with RMG, real money games. But then many people are like, it is against Article 19 certain clause which deals with right to occupation, and they have gone to Supreme Court. So we have to see how these things pan out. So what does the new online gaming act rather outline? So it has been passed, it became a law. India lose around 15,000 crore every year. It is, like people, you are investing 49, you're earning 51, you're becoming 2 rupee people. It's actually addiction. It's not good. Suicides, people are committing suicides. Sometimes you will invest with 49 and you will lose all 49. Then what will happen? Oh my God. GST evasion, money laundering, so many things were associated with these, real gaming, and that's why government has banned the third one, RMG. They want to promote social gaming. Esports can continue, but they have to register. So hope you understood the difference between these 3. Penalties and regulation, RMG, real money games, you can see the punishment, etc. Concern and loopholes, algorithms are rigged, bought. Again, you can see all the points, read it. Consolidated Fund of India, which article, if you know it, posted in the comment section. Now, Supreme Court, what they thought about these real gamings. So they were like rummy and fantasy, sporting balls, skill. I have played these games when I had too much free time. I don't think, yeah, maybe a little bit skill, but not that much. Article 19, Clause 1, Subclause D, right to trade and occupation will be violated, and that's why people involved with RMG, they have gone to Supreme Court. So we have to wait and watch rather, to see what happens next. Let's solve this question so that you can remember whatever we have just discussed. Use option elimination, that will help you in solving these kind of tough questions. If it is tough for you, it is tough for everyone because you are the best. Always keep on saying these 5 things every day, guys. I am the best, I can do it. God is always with me. Today is my day. I am a winner. So first statement is correct. 3 categories. So if first is correct, eliminate. RMGs are banned under irrespective. Yes, RMGs are banned. So second is also correct. Now you just have to check the fourth one. Social gaming is defined under the Act. No any strict restriction. Ludo, Candy Crush, government wants to promote it, so there's no restriction. Have we talked about any restriction? There's no restriction. So fourth is wrong. The answer is A1, 2, and 3. Very good. Next question. With reference to categories of online games, have a look at this. So social gaming, primary for recreation, esports, blah, blah, blah. Both esports, no, not both again, you can pause me. They will not receive budgetary support. Only social gaming will receive budgetary support from Consolidated Fund of India. So esports is not, social gaming, yes. So third is wrong. If you eliminate third, you will get the answer A1 and 2. These are tough questions. So these will be tough questions for everyone. If you have revised it, you'll be able to, solve these questions. You'll be able to. Oh my god, I'm just taking a pause, guys. So again, 17th most important article, Lipulekh Pass. Where is Lipulekh Pass? These passes, they're actually important. And UPSC asked these questions on passes because they are new. So Lipulekh Pass, you can see here, Nepal and India border here, Uttarakhand region. It's a disputed region. India and China, they want to continue their trade because of their common enemy US. Earlier, India and China, we were enemies. So now we are coming together. In our Hindi, there's a song, Paswane Lagi Zara Zara. That means people are coming closer now. But Nepal is not liking it because this is a contentious region, and that's why Nepal is not very happy with the development which is happening around this region, and that's what this article is all about. You just have to remember where is Lipulekh Pass. It is not near, Nepal or Nepal. I'm saying, let's say Bhutan or Tibet border or near Sikkim. Sikkim is very far away. You need to know the exact location of Lipulekh Pass. So what is happening? India-China trade through Lipulekh unacceptable, 23rd August 2025. For detailed discussion, you can always go to these dates and watch my Hindu analysis on this channel. And I have done some Hindu analysis on some other channel also. If you search my name on YouTube, you will get all the channels. Okay, so Lipulekh Pass. Border trade decision, India and China have decided to restart border trade. Nepal is not liking it because this is a disputed region according to Nepal. And they're not very happy, but again, they're just doing the wait and watch policy. So let's see how things pan out. Again, we just have to think and we just have to know the location of Lipulekh Pass. Let's solve this question so that you can remember it in a much better manner. So where is Lipulekh Pass located? You use option elimination. Is it located near Sikkim Tibet border? It is very far away from Sikkim, guys. If you again look at it, here is Sikkim, here is Lipulekh. So how come it is close and this and that? So third statement is wrong. If you eliminate the third one, you will get the answer A, 1 and 2 only. Very good. 18th most important article, 13th October 2025, India sends ministers to Egypt for Gaza summit. So in Egypt, there is a place. They can ask you, why is Sharm el-Sheikh in news? Or where is Sharm el-Sheikh? Sharm el-Sheikh is in Egypt. Why is it in news? Because, US and Egypt, they are mediating between Israel and Hamas. And that's why this summit is happening. US and Donald Trump is mediating anyone and everyone. He wants his Nobel Peace Prize. He's very unhappy he did not get it this year. Maybe next year. Fingers crossed for Donald Trump. India has said that they will not send PM, sir. He is very busy. So somebody else will go. The irony is this whole Gaza summit is trying to reconcile, relationship between Israel and Hamas, but Israel and Hamas themselves have not accepted or said that whether they will be coming or sending representative or not. So without their representation, this summit will happen. This is such an irony. Again, you can see the development which has happened after that. But what is important from exam perspective is why Sharm el-Sheikh in news? What is this Gaza summit? So you see participants who are there. Pakistani PM will attend. Unclear if Israeli PM Netanyahu or Palestinian President Mahmoud Abbas will attend. Hamas have declined the invitation. This is a summit promoting peace between Israel and Hamas, but Hamas will not send anyone. So again, that is God knows what Trump does. So again, just remember Sharm el-Sheikh, where is it? Why it was in news? It's a part of Gaza summit. So these are the facts which you have to keep in mind. Parallel development is happening. They can ask you these things have been asked in other exams. What is Israeli parliament called? It is called Knesset. Donald Trump has gone there. He's going here, there, everywhere. He just wants his Nobel Peace Prize. For that, he will do anything and everything. Let's solve some questions. Gaza Peace Summit. And again, use option elimination. That way you will be able to answer this. Co-hosted by US and Egypt, that is correct. So first is correct. Again, nothing is happening from first. we have seen Hamas has rejected the invitation. They will not come. So second is wrong. So now you're left with A and C. Third one, summit needs to finalize. Yes, they want to do it, but whether Netanyahu will come, Hamas will not come. So in that regard, this whole thing is happening again. So C1 and 3 only. 19th most important article published on 28 September 2025. UNESCO includes India's cold desert to global biosphere list. So we'll talk about these list and 13 biosphere reserves, but you'll have a look at these biosphere reserves like Kanchandonga, which is also India's only mixed heritage site. It is lies on Himalayas, Dihang, Debang, Arunachal, you have Nokrek, you have Meghalaya. So all these are very important, guys. Augusta Malay, Gulf of Mannar, UPSC has asked about them in different exams, including CSE, EPFO, and other exams. So you have to know the location. We are talking about cold desert here. So it will be a part of UNESCO's WNPR, World Network of Biosphere Reserves. And now India has 13 biosphere reserve, and this is the list of 13 biosphere reserve under UNESCO WNBR. So what you have to do, you also have to do some amount of research on all these biosphere reserve. The least you can do is have a look at the map and try to understand where they are. Where is Shimlipal? Where is Sundarbans? These are basic things which we need to know. They're very important. Cool. Solve some questions now. PYQ asked by UPSC in 2011. What is not an in situ method of conservation of flora? We're talking about biosphere reserves. So, biosphere, national park, and wildlife sanctuary. What is the basic difference between national park, wildlife sanctuary, and biosphere reserves? In national park, there is more restrictions. Wildlife sanctuary, somewhat lesser restrictions. Biosphere reserves, it can be a permutation or combination of multiple national park and wildlife sanctuary. There are other differences also, guys. Core zone, buffer zone, transition zone. We're talking about the most, one thing which makes things somewhat clearer. So National Park Wildlife Sanctuary, Biosphere Reserve, you can think of it as a superset consisting of multiple national park or wildlife sanctuaries and different permutation and combination. So these like Biosphere Reserve, National Park, Wildlife Sanctuary, these are all in situ. In situ method means we are preserving animals, flora and fauna where they are actually located or where they were, they took birth, etc., etc. Botanical garden is ex situ. You're bringing animals from some place else and then you are preserving them at a particular place. That is botanical garden. So it is, and they're asking not a site of in situ. So the answer is B. Hope you're understanding. Again, a basic question. We should know about these things. And the more questions you solve, the more you're able to answer these kind of questions. Solve this question, guys. Gulf of Mannar, Great Nicobar, Kanchanjunga, Sundarbans, which is located in Himalayan region. The answer is Kanchanjunga. We have just seen the location of Kanchanjunga. Next article, 20th most important article for UPSC EPFO 2025. Very good. How are courts protecting personal rights? So what are these personality rights? Anil Kapoor says jackass. Aishwarya Rai, there are many morphed images of Aishwarya Rai, etc., which we are seeing here, there, everywhere, and that is actually not cool. That should not be done to protect. There's a madam, she's talking about many morphed images of her is coming here, there, everywhere, and this is actually not cool. So again, every individual celebrity is trying to protect their personality rights. That's what this article is all about, published in the Hindu on 25th September 2025. So again, do we have any single law to protect personality rights? No, we have plethora of laws. We have different judicial verdicts, etc. So there is Trademark Act, there is Copyright Act. So they say something. So it's not like we have a single law for protecting personality rights. It is also linked to right to privacy. But many people feel that if we start protecting, each and everything related to personality rights of Aishwarya Rai, Abhishek Bachchan, Anil Kapoor, Jackass and all, so then freedom of speech and expression will take a beating. Right to privacy is fine under Article 21, but what about right to freedom of speech and expression under Article 19? So there has to be a balance which has to be maintained. Yes, we can imitate certain personalities, but there's a limit to how much imitation can be done. And again, you can understand here, this is personality rights is a good thing, but there is also a need to balance freedom of speech and expression with right to privacy, which will be protected by these personality rights. Cool. You can have a look at it, and personality rights are linked to Article 21. If you want these particular PDFs, you can send me a WhatsApp message at 9650303257. Cool. Copyright, trademark. We talk about these things, copyright, trademark, and intellectual property rights also. GS3, science and tech. So generally what happens, trademark, it is given for companies, Parle G, they have a particular trademark. But there are trademarks associated with signature catchphrases also, as we have discussed, Anil Kapoor and his Jackass. And then copyright is given for, let's say, A.R. Rahman, his composition, music, etc. You have written a book or something, copyright. And then patent is given for, let's say, new innovation which happened in medicine sector. New drugs have been created or made or pharmaceuticals. So Novartis is a company, they will get patent on their particular pharmaceutical or drug. And then you have something known as GI tag, which is unique to a specific region. And it is a statutory, like, it has got statutory status via GI Act of 1999, Darjeeling tea, first product to get GI tag. So these are some things which you have to keep in mind. They're specific to their own region. They are like the means Bengal Rasagulla and all, Odisha Rasagulla. So you see these points. Hope you understood the basic rationale here. Different judgments have been given that yes, we need to protect personality rights. AI, Arjit Singh voice cloning, this should not be done. There was also a case associated with AR Rahman, I think, or somebody else, who created the voice of somebody who has already died, used it in music composition. So again, there has to be a balance somewhere or the other. Personality rights versus free speech, or right to privacy versus free speech. So critics argue that it will impact Article 19, Clause 1, Subclause A, which talks about freedom of speech and expression, criticism, etc. So again, a balance has to be maintained. That's what this article is all about. For detailed discussion from UPSC CSC perspective, you can watch my Hindu analysis of 25th September 2025. For now, this will suffice. Let's solve some questions so that you can remember stuff in a much better manner. Very good. So personality rights in India primarily derived from what? A single codified statute, common law principles, judicial precedents, UN Convention, Copyright Act alone. We have just discussed there is no single law protecting personality rights in India. There has been multiple laws, Copyright Act, Trademark Act, different judicial verdicts. So the answer is B, common law principles and judicial precedents. MCQ, Article 19, Clause 1, Subclause A guarantees what? So we should know these articles. Fundamental rights, guys. The answer is freedom of speech and expression D. 21st or 21st most important article, current affairs for UPSC EPFO for 2025. PLI scheme, production linked incentive scheme for white goods. There are terms. UPSC has already asked a PYQ on white goods, item purchase for conspicuous consumption. What does it mean? Like, you have refrigerators, you have ovens. Earlier, they used to be of white color, so they were called white goods. So this is white good, item purchase for conspicuous consumption. What is PLI scheme? Production linked incentive scheme. So what is the basic meaning? Launched in 2020. So there are certain keywords. We'll talk about this article, but we have to focus on the keywords. Production linked incentive scheme. So let's say earlier one particular company was producing 100 units of goods, right? And now under production link, if they are producing 120 A dash, so they have increased production by 20 units. Government, let's say, give them 3 rupees per unit. So this is 60 rupees. So this is production linked incentive. Government is incentivizing more domestic production because we want to become Atmanirbhar, make in India, this and that. So that's why this production linked incentive, oh my god, incentive scheme came, and now it has been extended to white goods sector. What is white goods sector? This sector: refrigerator, washing machine, air conditioner. You can see this. Why they were called white goods? Because they were earlier white in color. And what is the basic definition? Item purchase for conspicuous consumption. And why we want to produce, like why production linked incentive scheme has been extended for them, because we don't want these goods to come from outside. We want to produce them in India. We want to become self-reliant. So again, this is the basic rationale. You just have to remember these facts. How does production linked incentive scheme work? If they ask you in EPFO, it has been extended for white goods, you will say yes, it has been. So union government, they have reopened PLI scheme for white goods, and you can see the numbers and data. Have a look at it. I'm not reading it. You can read it in your free time. So 83 applicants, they blah, blah, blah. Let's solve some questions so that we can remember stuff. Really good. PYQ, which was asked for UPSC 1999. So try to solve this question, guys. Pause me right now. I'm also taking a pause because I speak like Shankar Mahadevan, breathless. Chepandis. I love to say this word Chepandis, guys. I don't know why. Don't judge me for that. Chipandi is a Telugu word. So yes, sir. Sometime back, Government of India decided to de-license white good. White good includes item purchase for conspicuous consumption. See, MCQ. Which of the following best explains the working mechanism of PLI scheme? Pause me and try to solve this scheme. Solve this question. Answer is B. Government gives incentives to companies based on incremental sales over a base year. 22nd most important, current affairs. Radhakrishnan sir elected Vice President of India. That is awesome. We are very happy for him. But what is important here? How Vice President and Presidents are elected. The process. In Vice President election, all MPs of Parliament, they vote. Doesn't matter whether you're elected or nominated. This happens in Vice President. In the case of President election, Elected MPs of Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha, they vote. Elected MLAs of states and some UTs having, legislature, they vote. So MLAs do not vote in vice president election. Elected MLAs, they vote in the election, and elected MPs, they vote in the election of president. So let's say we take the example of Sachin Tendulkar. He was a nominated Rajya Sabha MP. So Sachin Tendulkar would have voted for this election, vice president election, but he would not have voted for president election. So these things you have to keep in mind. Then who did the cross voting and this and that, all these things are fine, but more important is this part. Electoral college, president and vice president, how they work. President, electoral college, elected MPs, elected MLAs. Votes are weighted means elected MLAs, the votes will vary. Votes vary. Why? Because it is based on population. So let's say population of Bihar is more, so the value of vote of elected MLA of Bihar will be more. So because of the population factor. On the other hand, vote or the value of vote of all MPs will be same, but they will be greater than the value of vote of elected MLAs. So votes are weighted based on population and proportional representation. So have a look at this. MLAs have no role in vice president election. We have already discussed it. Vice President of India is elected by, try to solve this question, pause me out. Members of Parliament only. B is the answer. PYQ asked by UPSC in 2018 with reference to election of president. Have a look at this. First is correct, we have just discussed. So again, second and B and D will be gone. Value vote of MPs, they don't vary, they're same. Elected MPs, the vote is value is same. It varies for MLA because the population of state varies and population is one criteria there. So the answer is A, one only. So second is wrong. Do solve these questions, guys, they're important. 23rd most important article. NGO educate girls, they win Raman Magsaysay Award, which is known as Nobel Prize of Asia. Ravish Kumar has also got it. You may dislike him. That is a different matter altogether. Published 1st September 2025. So what is important here? Who is Raman Magsaysay? We'll talk about all these things. Named after Raman Magsaysay, 7th President of Philippines. Established which particular year? 1958. Which is known as Nobel Prize of Asia. Raman Magsaysay Award. Has a lot of pride and prestige associated with it. Do they cover people from European region? No, they cover people from Asian region. So these are some facts which are important. Where they are based? Philippines, Manila, Philippines. Cool. And what is so special about this particular NGO? This is first Indian non-profit NGO which has got Raymond Magsaysay Award. So that's why this is important. And what they are doing, they are trying to educate girls in Rajasthan, which is again a great stuff. Their name is only Educate Girls. Foundation to Educate Girls globally, address gender injustice, where they were started in Rajasthan, and slowly and gradually they are expanding their reach. Cool. So just remember the fact. What is the name of this organization, Educate Girl? Why they are very important, or why we are reading about them? Because this is the first Indian non-profit to win Raymond Magsaysay Award. What is Raymond Magsaysay? When was it launched, established, and the other facts which we have just discussed. Let's solve some MCQ so that we can remember stuff. Educate girls. See these statements. Try to solve this question. First statement, yes, correct. So if first is correct, eliminate B. Organization started to work in Rajasthan. We have just seen that. That is also correct. Eliminate D. Works for female education. Correct. So the answer is C. 1, 2, and 3. Really good. 24th most important article of the day. And guys, do remember one thing which is actually very important, that reading is fine right now and revising is fine, but have faith in yourself. This is an exam which will require a lot of faith, and I'm just taking a break, guys. So yes, don't get perturbed right now. People are like, oh my god, so less time, this and that. Don't worry too much. Have faith in yourself, and that's why I'm saying you keep telling these 5 things. I'm the best. I can do it. God is always with me. Today is my day. I am a winner. Very good. So 24th article. Why has the import duty on cotton be suspended? So cotton, an important raw material, important from time immemorial. Britishers, they wanted this. So it has a colonial legacy, and it's important raw material, especially in the Maharashtra, Gujarat, etc. region. People grow cotton, but there is a demand for cotton from outside by different manufacturing sectors because of high quality cotton which comes from different countries. Obviously, the cotton manufacturers or the producers or the farmers in India, they will not like it. So they want some import duty on these imported cotton so that the price of those cottons increase and people buy, even companies, they buy domestic cotton. So that is the basic rationale here. But it's all about production. If let's say domestic cotton production is more than the demand, In that scenario, it's fine. Like, let's say domestic cotton production is less than the demand, then obviously cotton has to be imported, right? So sometimes import duty is suspended. You can understand when the import duty is suspended, when we want cotton from outside. If there is too much import duty, obviously, cotton will not come from outside. There's less incentive for cotton to come from outside, or companies to sell their cotton to India if there is import duty. So, but again, farmers don't like this suspension of import duty. So why? Because again, cotton is the main raw material for India's textile industry. You can see this thing. India has seen declining cotton production in recent year. One example is mainly these big companies, let's say Raymond and all those, they prefer cotton from outside because of the superior quality. February 21, government imposed 11% import duty because we want to protect our growers. At that time, production was greater than demand, so it's fine. You can impose duty, import duty. But if, let's say, production becomes lesser than demand, and your demand is more, companies are asking for cotton, then obviously you have to remove import duty so that more cotton could come into India. And that's what has happened here. There's a company's organization which is known as Cotton Corporation of India. Their work is to buy cotton at MSP, minimum support price, and to keep cotton price in check. And MSP is announced for 23 crops. Just remember these facts. CACP, they recommended. Commissioner Agriculture. What is CACP? What is the full form of CACP, guys? If you know it, post it in the comment section. Commission for Agriculture, cost and prices. Again, let's focus here. So to address textile industry shortage, government exempted cotton imports. Again, you can understand maybe the production has reduced, and that's why government reduced or removed cotton import, which farmers are not liking. So again, it's about production, it's about demand, it's about what is more and all these things. Bale is the unit in which cotton is measured. They can ask you, bale is the unit for measurement of which raw material or crop, cotton. So remember these facts, they are important. What is the basic purpose of cotton? To purchase these, Cotton Corporation of India, to purchase these cottons at MSP, minimum support price, to keep the price of cotton in check. For detailed discussion, you can always watch my Hindu analysis. For now, for EPFO, these things will suffice. Implication of duty withdrawal. International brands, as we have just discussed, they prefer imported cotton. So maybe we have to do a lot. Indian farmers, they have to improve the quality of cottons. Exporters gain a level playing field in global market. Farmers oppose this removal of cotton import duty because obviously, if import duty is less, more cotton will come from outside. Who will buy? Farmers' cotton. So these are the things what government can do, industries can do. More important from UPSC's perspective, UCSC stable policy. Suspend duty when farmers have already sold their cotton, and interest subvention, give them to working capital so that they can buy cottons from farmer. So again, all these things we can talk about it later on, not that important from EPFO perspective. MSP, who decides? CACP, Commission for Agriculture Cost and Prices, given for how many crops? 23 crops, including cotton. Cabinet committee they recommend it, they don't implement it. CCEA, chaired by Prime Minister, they take the final decision. UPSC has already asked PYQ on it, so keep it in mind. Let's solve some question. PYQ. So cotton is a kharif crop. I keep on telling people mnemonic for kharif crop. Kobama ki tu jori. Pay attention to the capital letters here. Cotton, bajra, maize, tur, jowar, rice. So cotton and rice, obviously they are kharif crops. And what this is the mnemonic for kharif crops. And what is the mnemonic for rabi crops? Vibagram. Vibagram. Wheat, barley, gram, rapeseed, and mustard. So wheat is not a kharif crop. Wheat is a rabi crop. So eliminate 4. Now you have 2, 3, 1, 2, and 3. Obviously cotton is there. This is cotton. Cotton is a kharif crop. So 1 and 3 has to be there. So the answer is C. 1, 2, and 3. Groundnut is also a kharif crop. We keep these points in mind, guys. UPSC has asked multiple questions on them. What is the work of Cotton Corporation of India? And do some more research on Cotton Corporation. When was it established? UPSC has asked questions on these tea corporation, coffee corporation. So we have to keep it in mind. Answer is to ensure procurement of cotton at MSP and stabilize cotton prices. Really, really, very good. 25th most important current affairs for UPSC EPFO 2025. Very good. Oh my god, I'm so tired, guys. Okay, let's focus. So, Great Nicobar project. This is one news which has been like environment. UPSC loves to ask questions from environment, especially in CSC because IS, IFS, they have the same pre, right? Forest Service also. Even for EPFO, they ask some environment related question. Great Nicobar project has been in news not once, not twice. I have covered it almost 4 times in last 2-3 months. So very important. Great Nicobar project. What is happening? So Great Nicobar Island, you see this first location here, and then I will tell you the whole issue. So Andaman and Nicobar Islands. Do read about these channel also, which 10 degree, 9 degree, what this separates and what. So Andaman Islands, and then Nicobar Islands, and then you have this Great Nicobar. On this Great Nicobar, government is thinking about building transshipment port and whatnot. So that will be impacting Galathea Bay, here, national park and all those things. There's so many vulnerable and endemic species which are found on this island only, which will be on the verge of extinction after this project, according to many experts, environmental experts. Government is thinking more about mitigation rather than adaptation or conservation. And there is a group here, the Nicobaris, the Shompen people, etc., who are saying that their permission was not taken when this project went, when government went ahead with this project, because tribal people have to be taken into consideration. There's something called as Forest Rights Act. According to Forest Rights Act, if forest land has been diverted for some other purpose, local people have to be taken into consideration. Local people are saying that their confidence or their permission was not taken from them. The administration of Andaman and Nicobar, they are saying that we took their permission. And when this thing escalated, Nicobaris are raising concern about displacement, and they say that their consent was never taken and it should be taken under Forest Rights Act. First administration said that we took the permission, and now they are saying that we don't need to take your permission. Even if we have not taken your permission, we don't need to take it, because this area comes under Pact 56 and not FRA. Under Protection of Aboriginal Tribes Act, we have a power to divert forest land without taking your permission. Forest Rights Act, they require prior settlement of right and consent from Gram Sabha. But in the case of Pact 56, we don't need your permission. Now it is not clear whether this whole diversion of land for transshipment port and this and that happened under Pact or FRA. So the process is still going on. And the way things are developing, it seems like government has bypassed a lot of things here. They are doing a lot of things. Earlier, this whole region was under CRZ 1A, Coastal Regulation Zone 1A, under Environmental Protection Act 1986. Now government has changed this to CRZ 1B, because under 1A you cannot do any such things. So government is doing anything and everything because they want to go ahead with this whole project. So it is in news, it will be in news, it is very important from every exam perspective, including EPFO. So let's solve some question, guys. Pact 56 differs from FRA. What we have just discussed. See all these options, solve one UPSC PYQ which has been asked by UPSC on this FRA thing. The answer is FRA allows diversion of forest land only after settlement of rights and Gram Sabha consent. Pact 56 gave power to administrator for diversion. Now it is not clear this diversion happened under FRA or Pact 56. There's too much ambivalency here. This is the question which was asked by UPSC in 2013. Have a look at this. Under forest, again they're asking about FRA only. Who shall be the authority to initiate the process for determining the nature and extent of individual community forest rights, or both? If you go back to this previous question, you will get the answer. The answer is Gram Sabha. Gram Sabha will determine individual rights, community rights over these forest land. D is the answer. And that's it from me, guys. So this is part 2, and I will see you people. These are the answers. If you want these PDF, you can send me a WhatsApp message at 96503032. What is my number, guys? 9650303257, and there will be 2 more parts which will be coming, 3 and 4. So we'll be covering the rest 25 articles in them, revise them. Most of the questions will be coming from this, or the concepts which we have discussed in these videos, guys. You will thank me later for this. So that's it from me. I will see you in the next parts. Take care, be blessed. Tata, bye bye. Hello everyone, my name is Shubham Sagar, and today we have to do the third part of 50 most important current affairs for UPSC EPFO 2025, scheduled on 30th November. And my name is Shubham Sagar. You can connect with me on LinkedIn. This is my snapshot of my LinkedIn profile. And see, I will tell you, this 50 most important current affairs, they are in 2 PDFs. First PDF containing 25 articles and the second one containing the other 25 articles. But when we are doing videos, we're doing videos in 4 parts, because you have to explain also in videos, right? So yeah, this is the third part which we are doing today, and here we will cover articles, or 50 most important articles, 26 to 38. You can, and again, these are all standalone lecture, guys. You can watch it like part 1, part 2. It's like they are not linked in any way, because we cover articles, right? But yes, you can watch the previous 2 part as well. So this is the third part we're talking about. There will be one more part which I'll be uploading tomorrow, and then we are done. As somebody says, khatam, the end will happen. Again, I have an OCD, so let me just check whether everything is running fine or not, and then we will start the discussion. In between, I will keep on checking, because this happens, guys. We all are different in our own way. So again, this is my LinkedIn profile. Let's not waste any time. And this is my Telegram channel. I do Hindu analysis Monday to Saturday, and I try to upload the video by 9:30 a.m. every day. So you can, by evening, I upload the daily Hindu analysis PDF also in this Telegram channel. So you can join this Telegram channel, because if you are For now, it's fine, but if you're preparing for UPSC, CSE, and other exams, daily Hindu analysis will help you a lot. So let's start the discussion. 26th most important article, current affairs for UPSC EPFO 2025. This is about ASEAN summit. This article published in Hindu on 29th October 2025. So what this article is talking about, in the ASEAN summit which happened this year, Modi sir did not go, and this article is saying that Modi sir should have gone there because there was a chance to talk about so many things. East Asia summit was happening on the sidelines, which is ASEAN plus 8. UPSC has already asked a PYQ on East Asia summit, ASEAN plus 8 countries. India is a part of East Asia summit. India, if we ask, India is a part of East Asia summit. India is not a part of ASEAN. India is not a part of APEC, which is a similar kind of organization like East Asia, East Asia Summit, but it is led by Australia. So remember these facts, they are important facts. So this article is saying that ASEAN, whenever I teach my students ASEAN, I always tell them there are 10 countries in ASEAN, and there is a mnemonic which you will use to remember them. BPLTV mimics. Brunei, Philippines, Laos, Thailand, Vietnam, Myanmar, Malaysia, Indonesia, Cambodia, and Singapore. So in our time, there used to be a TV called BPL TV, then Onida TV, etc. So BPL TV mimics. So India-ASEAN partnership. Remember, India is not a member of ASEAN, guys. India became a dialogue partner. Dialogue partner means minister-minister talks can happen. And then upgraded to a summit-level partnership. That means prime minister talks can happen. So all these things have already happened. East Asia summit is happening on the sideline, and we should have gone there. This article is talking about that. From exam perspective, EPFO, CSE perspective, we have to understand ASEAN. How many countries are there? East Asia summit. PYQ has been asked by UPSC. We'll see, solve that PYQ. How many countries are there? ASEAN plus 8. And that 8 includes India as well. You can see here. US, Australia, China, Russia, etc. So Australia, and again, the Quad was revived. All these things, they're talking about Quad in ASEAN summit. Modi sir has not gone there in this ASEAN 2025 summit, but he has given a virtual speech and he has talked about so many good things, because who's a good boy? Modi sir is a good boy. Again, you can read all these things in your free time. We are focused on the things which are important from exam perspective, from right now from EPFO perspective. So again, India's position at the East Asia summit, Jaishankar sir represented India here, and he's talking about US tariff, this and that. You can again read it. Not that important. For detailed analysis, you can always watch my Hindu analysis of that particular day. Again, for EPFO, what is important? ASEAN summit. ASEAN, how many countries they have? East Asia summit, India is a member or not? Why Modi sir is absent this year? Because official reason was festivals. Unofficial reason, Bihar election. Unofficial reason, US is there. Trump is there. He keeps on saying India, Pakistan, peace. He did it. So even right now when I'm making this video, G20 summit is going on. Trump is not there. Modi sir has gone now. So again, there's no relation, guys. So again, and the third reason is it is happening in Malaysia. As we have discussed, BPL TV mimics MMICS. So Malaysia is a part of ASEAN, and this summit is happening in Malaysia. They supported Pakistan, and that's why we are not going. This may be the biggest reason why we or Modi sir did not go. Cool. So again, have a look at this article, guys, in your free time. East Asia Summit launched in 2005, ASEAN plus 8. India is a member. It is based on ASEAN centrality. So these are the facts which you have to keep in mind. Now, non-ASEAN 8 countries are part of East Asia Summit. APEC, India is not a part of it. So let's solve this PYQ asked by UPSC in 2015. These PYQs are actually important and you should revise them. Cheppandis, Cheputelsu Ledu Kadu, guys. That means, tell me, guys, what is the answer of this question? You can pause me whenever you're solving these kind of questions. The answer is India is not a member of ASEAN. So second eliminated. Then you have only B or D. So India is a member of East Asia Summit, we have just discussed. So the answer is B. 3 only. Very good. MCQ, this question related to what we have discussed. India's engagement with ASEAN. Pause me and try to solve it. So what is the answer? These two are interchanged, So it should be here, it should be here. So interchange. So this is wrong. Like this dialogue partner 1995 and summit level 2002. So first and second wrong. So you're left with 3 only. Third is dialogue partnership, ministerial level talk, summit level, PMs can talk and heads of government can talk. If somebody at some place, president is the head, we can have a discussion. So 3 only. Very good. Next article again. Just give me a second, guys. More than the fact, yeah, just give me a second. It's almost like very early morning when I'm recording this video. So yeah. Okay, let's continue. Everything is fine. Voice is clear, crystal clear. Next article of the day. What is China's complaint against India at WTO? More than the complaint part, here China is not happy with India's production linked incentive scheme, PLI scheme, which was launched by India in 2020. I think in the previous parts, 50 most important parts, we have talked about PLI, production linked incentive scheme, incremental sales, and government will give or these companies certain money and certain incentives on incremental sales, that is production linked incentive scheme, to promote domestic production. So maybe China is like, you are promoting domestic production in a way. This is a example of import substitution subsidy. So China is not very happy with what India is doing when it comes to PLI, production linked incentive scheme. So one thing we have to keep in mind, this particular point. Then there was another thing which happened earlier, domestic content requirement issue. India and US, they fought over it. UPSC has already asked a PYQ on it. Domestic content requirement means solar energy. India is a great, India is a pioneer in solar energy production. US companies wanted to come to India. Then India was like, yes, they can come to India, but they have to, whatever equipments they are using, they have to use it or buy it from the domestic producers. We did not like it, or US rather did not like it. We did not like it. Oh my God, I'm US. So US did not like it and they went to WTO. India lost that case. UPSC has already asked a PYQ on it, solve it. Domestic content requirement. So that's why these issues are important. If UPSC has already asked a PYQ, it becomes more important. So China has filed a complaint with WTO against India, alleges that production linked incentive scheme, revise the previous two parts, guys. We have discussed production linked incentive scheme. So they are giving production linked incentive scheme. I have just told you what is the basic rationale here. If let's say earlier a company was producing 100 units, now they are producing 120 units, So on this additional 20 units, let's say government will give these companies 3 rupees. So they will earn 60 rupees more. So this is a production linked incentive scheme in simple terms. Provide financial incentive based on incremental sale, aims to strengthen India's, again you can read all these things. So the basic rationale China is giving is, when you are giving incentive for domestic production, increase in domestic production, in a way you are trying to substitute imports. This is an example of, in PLI is an example of import substitution subsidy, which is not correct, which is wrong. So India scheme linked to, again, they are telling for auto sector how much domestic value addition is added for, if you want to qualify for PLI, etc., etc. China is arguing that discrimination against imported Chinese goods makes them, China is saying that this is import substitution subsidies. Obviously, if domestic production increases, why will people buy imported goods, in auto sector, etc., until unless the quality is not that good. WTO launched subsidies. So again, I am such a, there are some people who are very, very, how do I put it, right? Clumsy. I'm that guy. So WTO allows subsidies to support domestic industries, but they must just not distort international trade. So again, China is saying that it will be distorted. PLI is like a import substitution subsidy. So government, again, WTO is governed by SCMs. They can ask you the full form, subsidies and countervailing measures. UPSC has also asked subsidies and countervailing measures associated with which organization, WTO, UN, etc. So remember it. So Article 1 of SCM is financial contribution by government that confers a benefits. Plus, again, you can read all these things, not that important. We'll solve some question, you will realize the important parts. What are the types of subsidies under this SCM? Prohibited subsidies, export subsidies. That means you want to incentivize your exports, that's why you are giving certain benefits to your domestic producers. That is wrong. Import substitution subsidy. You don't want certain imports to come, that's why you are subsidizing or giving certain benefits to your domestic goods. And China is saying that this PLI lies under import substitution subsidies. Actionable subsidies may be challenged, non-actionable generally allowed. So these are prohibited, export and import substitution subsidies. And again, you can see all these things, trims, trade-related aspects of investment measures or something like that. So not that important. Just remember why China is unhappy, because of PLI. PLI violates what? According to China, import substitution subsidy. What will happen in WTO now? Nothing. Why nothing will happen? Because their appellate body is not having proper members, they don't have enough money. So right now nothing will happen. So WTO dispute process, first of all, India has again given his own defense why this is not import substitution, blah blah blah. So WTO dispute consultation, India and China will first try to resolve the issue themselves. Then they will go to WTO panel, and then if it fails, there will be a 3-member panel, appellate body. But appellate body is non-functional right now because they don't have enough members, they don't have enough money. Money hai to honey hai, money is everything, guys. So again, the key takeaway, blah blah blah. There is a dispute right now. So even whatever happens in WTO, there will be a status quo until unless appellate body of WTO start functioning. So what is important from exam perspective, I've already told you. Let's solve some questions so that you can understand what else is important, and that's why you need to solve MCQs so that you can understand what were the things which were important in the previous article. So what is the answer, guys? Pause me right now. Choose the best option. Chepandi's Cheputalsu Ledu Kadu. That means choose the best option. Here the answer is India's DVA requirements that discriminate against imported goods, and that's why China is not very happy. Next article, and again, article is important, but what we have just discussed, apart from article, what else is important is how UPSC frames questions from these articles in the previous exams. That gives us an idea. So if you see, oh my god, what happened? If you see this article, so here Justice Suryakant is becoming the 53rd Chief Justice. That is fine. But will UPSC, it's not a one-day exam, guys, with due respect to other one-day exams. So UPSC will not ask you who became the Suryakant. He's from Haryana, one of my best friends. We played cricket together, Kho, Kabaddi and all. Or maybe I'm just lying. So 53rd Chief Justice of India, CJI, he will become from November 24. UPSC will not ask you the name, etc. They have never. But again, I'm saying it never, and maybe they will ask it this year. They are very unpredictable that way, be it EPFO, CSE, other exams. So, but they will ask you which article of Indian Constitution deals with Chief Justice of India, Article 124. What is their retirement age? 65. If they become 65, so they have to retire. So more important than the age, article. See, he's the 53rd Chief Justice. He will be, again, assuming child, he will be only there for 16 months. Why? Because after February 9, he will be greater than 65 years, and he will be, again, you can read all these things. D.R. Gavai sir, he will succeed him. Appointment made by President under Article 124. There are two clauses, 124A, 1 and 2. So under 124.1, CJF office established, and under 124 clause 2, President appoints him. UPSC will not go into the clauses part, just remember 124. Senior most judge of Supreme Court is generally appointed the next CJI. And there is no fixed term, retirement age is 65 years as per Article 124 clause 2, as we have just discussed. First is everything, and anyway, very important, your first love, your first crush, your first this and that. So first Chief Justice, H.J. Kania sir, and 53rd designated Suryakant. So remember these facts. Article is important, guys. So what is the answer? Chepandis is the answer. No, Article 124 clause 1, B is the answer. 29th most important article. Now this is a big article, very important from means perspective, UPSC means. From UPSC pre-perspective or EPFO perspective, what is important? Nuclear energy. Which kind of energy it is? Is it renewable energy or non-renewable? Many people have confusion here. It's a renewable energy. No, it's not renewable. It's non-renewable. Then why do we promote it so much when we don't promote other non-renewable like coal, etc.? Because it's cleaner than coal. It has a lesser ecological footprint. That means it's much better ecologically to use nuclear power than to use coal thermal power plants. So it's non-renewable but cleaner. Why it is non-renewable? Because when you talk about fission reaction, let's say fusion reaction is happening in sun, hydrogen plus helium, fusion, sun. But we don't have not controlled it that much. So basically in world over nuclear reactor, they generally run from fission. And here uranium, let's say, is a fissile material. It will disintegrate into smaller materials. It will release energy. That's how fission works. So this uranium is finite in amount, guys. Oh my god. This uranium is finite in amount because this uranium is finite in amount. So that's why nuclear energy is not renewable. Renewable means sun, you will have solar energy forever. Till the time sun is there, and sun is there for a very long period. You will have wind forever. So hope you're understanding why they are renewable and they are cleaner. So first of all, nuclear energy is non-renewable. Keep it in mind. Most of the people, they don't know it. Then what is India's nuclear energy target? That is important. 100 gigawatt nuclear power capacity by 2047. As our Honorable PM Sir says, we will become a Viksit Bharat by 2047. And for that, we need PM for life. Modi sir should be a PM for life, and there are many people who say that we should not have any elections anyway. Why? Let's have Modi sir as PM for 19 till 2047. Otherwise, we will not become a developed nation. So much unemployment has gone. Everybody is having 2-3 job options now. So much good things are happening in our country. China is like third kaaping. That means China is so much. Okay, let's focus, guys. So let's not go there. So 100 gigawatt nuclear power capacity we want to have. We always set very ambitious target. Demonetization will eliminate black money, and so many other things we did. Smart city mission, bullet train. We generally don't achieve those aims, but what is the wrong in setting big targets? So here also, current capacity is 8 gigawatt. We want to go to 100 gigawatt. Sometimes it's so okay. We will, like, again, Modi sir is here and he will achieve it. So again, what are the other things? Forget about it. Let's be focused, guys. Let's be serious. 100 gigawatt nuclear power capacity 2047. Net zero carbon emission by 2070. These are India's aim, you have to remember. This article is saying that, how we can achieve this 100 gigawatt nuclear power capacity. One thing is to keep Modi sir as PM. What is the other thing we have to do? The other thing is, we can focus on something like large nuclear reactors. They have some issues. They undergo some, accidents, and a lot of losses happens in so many different domains. Fukushima and all, we are very wary of it. So we can focus on the small modular reactor, which are comparatively safer than large scale reactor. And it's flexible also how you can use it, small modular reactor. So this article is about that. Small modular reactor, budget is focusing on them. They have allocated certain amount for them, and there are different countries who don't want to come to India because of India's CLNDA, civil liability for nuclear damage act. But since nuclear damage will be comparatively lesser or nil in smaller modular reactors, so that will incentivize other countries to come and invest in SMR, small modular reactor, rather than PHWR, pressurized heavy water reactor. Again, none of our concern these things right now. You can watch my Hindu analysis. When was this article, or when did this article publish? 23rd July, and you can watch this, my Hindu analysis, to understand. But right now, you just have to focus on the targets, nuclear energy target, and net carbon, zero target of emissions, carbon zero emission target of India. So these things are important. So yeah, we have made a lot of commitments, but we have to also fulfill those commitments. Announcement is fine, but implementation is key. And here we are talking about the difference between PHWR and small modular reactor. And more, India is focusing on small modular reactor. It's not like we are discarding PHWR. It's just that this is safer, this is flexible, and you can assemble it on site. So there are so many good advantages with SMR. Cool. Let's solve some question. Which of the following correctly classifies nuclear energy? What is nuclear energy? I've told you what is nuclear energy. Chepandi's guys, Chepandi, Cheputunsu Ledu Kadu. So it's not renewable. So if it is not renewable, eliminate renewable option. Non-renewable, low carbon, non-nuclear, fossil fuel. No, non-renewable and low carbon. Very good. You people can also state in the comment section how many questions you got correct out of whatever we have discussed. Which of the following statement is or are correct? See this statement, guys. And Chepandis means tell me. In our time, there used to be a song, tell me something. Meri jaan, kar le humse ek baar. That means tell me something. And come and do love to me once. Oh my god. Oh no, it's not love. It's about talk about love. प्यार की मीठी बातें चालिया. Talk certain stuff about love. Let's focus, guys. So, nuclear fusion, power, sun and star. That's correct. So see, go on, do option elimination. It will help you a lot in EPFO, CSE and other exam conducted by UPSC and maybe some other exam as well. Nuclear fusion required light. No, it does not require light elements. It requires uranium high. Yeah, light elements is required by fusion. So second is wrong. You will get the answer here, one only. Nuclear fusion has not been successfully commercialized worldwide. It's still, people are still trying to, understand how it works, how to control it. 30th most important article, Moon Day, remembering the leap. Why it is important? Because Moon Day is celebrated on July 20, and many people believe that it's celebration of one particular country. First human landing on Moon by Apollo 11 in 1969. What is important from exam perspective is here there will be a talk about UTC, which is similar to GMT, Greenwich Meridian Time, Universal Coordinated Time, and that is the time which is there in the Greenwich, UK, and that is a 0. And from there we talk about India's Standard Time and IST. So in IST is UTC plus 5:30, 5 hours 30 minutes you will add. So this article is saying that you celebrate this, International Moon Day on July 20, but according to UTC, which is the reference frame, it was July 21. But it was July 20 in America, timing dispute. So ideally, if you want to celebrate it as International Moon Day, celebrate it on July 21, because you are following the reference frame of UTC. Then why you are celebrating it on July 20 when it was July 20 only in America? you know. So this is one basic criticism of this international moon day. Just remember, international moon day, this is out of the ordinary question. UPSC asks questions on science, like EPFO also, oh my god, EPFO also asks questions on science and tech, space, etc. So just remember, international moon day, what is the controversy? And the controversy is not that people don't believe in moon landing, that's a different matter altogether. The controversy is that we are celebrating, victory of one particular country, achievement of one particular country rather, and timing dispute. And according to UTC, it should be July 21. So if you want to make it international, celebrate it on July 21. Cultural bias. July 20 focuses on American achievement. Despite criticism, July 20 remains the globally recognized date for International Moon Day, first moon landing. So if you solve this particular question, this is out of the ordinary question. If you know this question here, you cannot do jibber jabber or deduce stuff. If you know International Moon Day, you know International Moon Day, then you will be able to solve this. So what is the answer, guys? Use option elimination. This is not about whether moon landing is scientifically proven or not. People believe it happened, All those conspiracy theories are not like, most of the people, they don't accept it. So third is wrong. This is the thing which we have talked about. So A is the answer. India's time zone is offset from UTC. Why this is important? Because multiple UPSC PYQs have been asked on this. It is this time in England or this and that. What is the time in India? So in that regard, you have to understand India's time zone is offset from UTC by UTC plus 5:30. So let's say right now it's 5:35 a.m. in the morning, let's say, and it is right now 5:35 a.m. when I'm making this video. So it's 12 night in, or 12:05 a.m. night of 23rd November. So let's talk about the next article. IPS appointments in CAPF continue despite Supreme Court order against the move. What is this issue all about? This is a very important article from UPSC perspective. Why important from UPSC perspective? Because internal security, you have these paramilitary forces. So CAPF is a paramilitary forces, similar to a military force, similar to Army, Navy, and Air Force, but not exactly same. Why? Because they come under Ministry of Home Affairs mostly, and this Army, Navy, Air Force, they come under Ministry of Defense, right? So CAPF, and they have their own exam, they have their commandants. But what is happening? The tupper, oh my gosh, the upper post or the higher echelons in CAPF, they are IPS appointments, and CAPF people, they are not liking it. They're like, why? Why we are having people at the higher hierarchy from IPS? Why we can't be promoted to that level? So there was a thing which was going on. Home Ministry is, is the regulating regulating both these cadres like IPS as well as CAPF, and that's why maybe the issue is happening. Supreme Court is saying that no, reduce it. Ensure that CAPF people only are getting promoted to the higher post. They are not liking it. This will create a division between IPS and CAPF. This is actually creating a division between IPS and CAPF. So there are different forms of central armed police forces, guys. You have Sasastra Seema Bal, SSB. You have ITBP, Indo-Tibetan Border Police. You have NSG, National Security Guard. You have there's so many different organized, like you have BSF, Border Security Force. So you have different, these are all paramilitary forces, as we have discussed, similar to military but not exactly same. Many people, there was one theory I was reading somewhere that, why we have these paramilitary forces, so that some, like, let's say someday, like in Pakistan, army calls the coup. So if that happens in India, we have these paramilitary forces to balance the army, etc. Again, this is just one saying. I'm not saying this is actually a true thing. Somewhere I read it and I was fascinated by that particular logic rather. So again, Group A CAPF officers, they filed this petition. They were like, no, we are not liking IPS officers appointment at the higher post. Current reservation, you can see this. And the judgment is expected, and Supreme Court is saying that yes, it has to be reduced, and CAPF officers will be happy. So due to IPS reservation phase, again, you can see all these things. And why this whole thing is happening? Because Union Home Ministry is the cadre controlling authority for both CAPF and IPS. What is important from exam perspective? Paramilitary forces is there in GS mains paper 3, very important from CSE, but also important from EPFO perspective. So group of paramilitary forces under MHA, responsible for internal security, border management, and they are of different types. So some of the CAPFs are border security force, guarding India-Pakistan or Pakistan-Bangladesh border. Remember it. ITBP, China. Tibetan will give you the hint. Sasastra Seema Bal, Nepal, Bhutan. CISF, Industrial Security Force, industries, PSUs, public sector undertakings. CRPF, Central Reserve Police Force, law and order, Naxal operation. So these are some important CAPF, but then there are other CAPF also like NSG, etc. You have Assam Rifles as well. So remember these facts, guys, they are actually really important. Key difference between army and military, Ministry of Defense. You can see all these things in your free time. Now, let's try to do this. This is a very interesting question. Awesome question. BSF, SSB, ITBP, CISF. Match based on what we have just discussed. Pause me right now. Indo-Tibetan Border Police, Tibet, China. So C is 3, right? If C is 3, you are getting the answer. FOB1, C3, D2. So always try to do option elimination, guys. It will help you a lot in EPFO, CSE, and other exams as well. Like, share, and subscribe. Spread the word, guys. Make me famous. If you feel like I'm contributing to your knowledge base, I'll be indebted to you people, and I'll be incentivized to bring more such videos for you. And again, if you're feeling like, I'm contributing to your knowledge base, you can donate. That will also help a lot, because I was earlier working in different organizations, Study IQ, so many like Sleepy, etc. I've left that and I'm focusing on my venture. So in that regard, your support will mean a lot. And also, if you want this, PDF, I am getting a lot of messages. You can send me a WhatsApp message at this number only. This whole, 50 most important current affairs for EPFO. Next article, 32nd most important current affairs, and hope you're understanding how you have to read these current affairs. This is for future exam as well. You have to deduce things which they will ask. Like here, US curbs against Albanese, said dangerous president. So she is this is Francesca Albanese, and she was looking into issues and human rights violation which is happening in Gaza and all those regions because of Israeli policies. And because Israel and US, they are thick friends, they are two body, one soul. That means in your love, hum savarne lage. That means we are getting ornamented. Oh my god. So US curbs. So US have, because this Albanese ma'am, she is a rapporteur, special rapporteur. These are neutral experts. It's not like they are part of some entity. So these are neutral experts who go to different arenas, different areas appointed by UN to look into the human rights issue. And she said that human rights violations are happening, is done by Israel, and US is not liking it, so they are putting sanctions on her, curbs against her movement, and maybe if she has some assets in US, they will freeze those assets. So UN is not happy. UN is like, no, this is not done, guys. And here, what is important? We will talk about ICC and ICZ. So these are the terms which are important. International Court of Justice, one of the permanent organs of UN. International Criminal Court, not a part of UN. Both of their headquarters is in Hague only, ICC and ICZ. But International Criminal Court prosecute individuals. Criminal, that is a giveaway. Individuals. International Court of Justice, they deal issue between nations. So these are some facts which you have to keep in mind. So sanctions imposed on Francesca Albanese by US. UN is not happy, and illegitimate and shameful efforts to prompt ICC to take action against US and Israeli officials. ICC, Hague, Netherlands, prosecutes individuals. And that's what Francesca ma'am said, because she is not happy with what Israel is doing in, or US and Israeli people are doing in Palestinian territories. So she is the UN Special Rapporteur, as we have discussed, neutral expert, and she is saying that a lot of human rights violation is happening. And there were cases also, like Israel has set up some food aid centers, and they're killing Hamas guys or Palestinian people. So on the disguise of distributing food. So if you read current affairs, you will realize what I'm saying. I'm not this and that. I'm just telling you the facts. So UN High Commission, they condemned. Again, you will see all these things. Volker Turk, he's saying that end to attacks on Gaza territory is a threat against UN appointed individuals and international institutions like ICC. So, and this unilateral, again, you can read all these things. None of, like, it does not concern us that much from EPFO perspective. What concerns us is this: ICC and ICZ. ICZ, part of UN, one of the 6 permanent organs of UN. Out of those 6 permanent organs, Trusteeship Council no longer functions. But remember, ICZ is part of UN. ICC not. Hague, oh my god, Netherlands, location of both of them. And ICC, criminal individuals, Court of Justice, countries. And then you can read all the other points. Kulbhushan Jadhav case, etc., went to ICZ because it was a dispute between India and Pakistan. Raw research and analysis. Now let's solve some questions. Special rapporteur refers to what? What is the answer? Choose the best option. Pause me right now. B. Independent expert appointed to investigate. Really good. Which of the following correctly differentiate ICC and ICZ? And again, pause me. Ha he ha ha. We are fine, guys. We are awesome. So, what separates ICC from ICZ? ICC, criminal, prosecute individuals. ICZ, resolve legal disputes between nation, justice. So, C is the answer. 33rd most important article, Navy Index. Here, there were two articles. I clubbed them: INS Udaygiri, INS Tamal. These are frigates, still frigates. Still frigate means they're like warships, but with lower level of detectability. And then INS Tamal, Russia helped us in building this INS Tamal. On the other hand, INS Udaygiri is totally indigenous. As our Modi sir says, make in India. So INS Udaygiri, INS Tamal. Do remember, these are frigates, warships with lower level of detectability, and they have missiles installed on them. So second ship of Project 17A, they can ask you, INS Tamal is a part of Project 17A, that is wrong. INS Udaygiri is a part of Project 17A. Successor to Shivali class frigate, Project 17A, just remember, constructed by Mazagon Dock and GRSCE. Not that important. What is important is Udaygiri and Tamal, what they are. Still frigates, warships, lower level of detectability. INS Udaygiri indigenous, INS Tamal made with the effort of Russia. So these things are important. And you can read all these things: supersonic, subsonic. Now these words are actually important. What is supersonic? So like there is something called a sonic speed of sound, 1 Mach. Then you have subsonic, less than 1 Mach, less than the speed of sound, less than 1 Mach. Then you have supersonic, greater than 1 Mach. And then you have a hypersonic, greater than 5 Mach. So these are some facts which you have to keep in mind, guys. Really good. So supersonic. And then ballistic missile, cruise missile, will have these talks some other times, because INS Tamal is last foreign built major warship, means built with the help of Russia. Commissioning took place at Kaliningrad, Russia. Russia is our all-weather friend and not a transactional friend like US. You can read all these things. People are very happy and they're giving certain statements here. And operational capability, blah blah blah. Dual rose BrahMos cruise missile. BrahMos is a cruise missile. Brahmaputra plus Moskva, India-Russia collaboration. Supersonic cruise missile. Supersonic you already know. So what is the difference between cruise and ballistic missile? Ballistic missile, they are guided by gravity. Let's say you fired a ballistic missile, so it will follow a predefined parabolic trajectory and then it will fall on the ground. Predefined, aided by gravity rather. On the other hand, cruise missile you can control a lot. In between, you can change the path, alter the path. Cruise missiles, more control, and you can guide it somewhat more rather than ballistic missiles. So remember these facts, guys, important. And then the difference between Tamal and Udaygiri, stealth guided, stealth rigid, and all these things. Let's solve some question. INS Tamal recently commissioned is what? And pause me. So the answer is Russian built stealth guided missile frigate. Very good. Project 17 associated with Indian Navy warship aims to do what? What is the purpose of Project 17A? Construct stealth frigates with indigenous design and technology. INS Udaygiri is a part of Project 17A. Very good. Next article. 34th most important article. India rejects supplemental award in Kishan Ganga Ratle hydropower projects. For understanding this particular issue, Kishan Ganga and Ratle hydropower projects, we have to understand Indus water treaty. You may already know it, but let's try to know it some more. Oh my god. Making, like, I woke up today at 3:30 a.m., you know. So first of all, let's focus on this, guys. We'll talk about all these things. This is important. But Indus Water Treaty. So Indus Water Treaty is initially right now suspended because of Pakistani stupidities and all those stuff. And Indus Water Treaty brokered in 60 by World Bank between India and Pakistan. Pakistan head was Ayub Khan at that time. India's head was Jawaharlal Nehru, right? So World Bank brokered it. So many exams already asked who brokered Indus Water Treaty. It is in news right now. So there are different tributaries of Indus. Satluj, Vyas and Ravi, India has major rights over, exclusive rights over them. Chenab, Jhelum and Indus, you can see the map. India, like here, Pakistan has major rights. But it does not mean India does not have any rights. India has the right to make run of the river plants and limited storage. You can see all these things. And India is trying to. Earlier, there was an allegation against India that we are not utilizing Chenab, Jhelum, and Indus water much. We should do that. And so now we are trying to do that, and Pakistan is not liking it, and they have gone to court of arbitration, which has been created by World Bank to settle disputes between India and Pakistan. And India is like, no, we no longer follow these things because IEWT is in suspension, and we are doing whatever we should have. Like it's even though it is in suspension, we are not making anything big on Kishan Ganga, which is a tributary of Jhelum, so to say, or we'll talk about the other issues. So now Satluj, Vyas, River, Ravi rather, and Chenab, Jhelum, Indus, who has major rights over these rivers. Now let's talk about this issue. So India rejects supplemental award on Kishan Ganga, Ratle hydropower projects. These are run-of-the-river project, guys, which we are making on Kishan Ganga and Ratle. So run-of-the-river project, as you can see, if you see Kishan Ganga and Ratle, if we go to this map, Kishan Ganga and Ratle, it's Chenab and Jhelum. You may say that it is with Pakistan major control. Why we are making Kishan Ganga and Ratle on Pakistan, like on rivers on which Pakistan has control. First thing first, IWT is no longer applicable, so we can make dam projects anywhere and everywhere. Second thing, these are not big projects. These are run-of-the-river projects, which is anyway allowed under IWT. If you see it, IWT allows, we'll see that questions, IWT allows run-of-the-river power plants. What is run-of-the-river power plants? How it is different from big power plants? So in big hydroelectric projects or big dam construction, you are changing the flow of the river to a greater extent. That does not happen in a run-of-the-river project. We are not changing the course of the river. It is same to a very large extent. So we try to, produce electricity without altering too much the course of river, and that is run of the river project. So again, similar kind of protest is happening in Arunachal also related to large hydro projects which is being constructed there. People are not very happy, but this is not the case. This is run of the river project, construction of like hydropower projects without changing the flow of river much. Very different from big dams. So now let's have a look at this issue. So India has in the court of arbitration created under World Bank. So this whole thing, India has rejected the supplemental award issued by court of arbitration regarding Kishan Ganga and Ratle, because India is saying that currently IWT is under ABAM's temporary suspension, and they don't recognize court of arbitration because both countries should go there, right? If you have issues, and only Pakistan is doing stuff in court of arbitration. We don't recognize it, and we don't agree with IWT anymore because of Pakistan's support for cross-border terrorism. And external affairs minister, blah blah. You can read this thing. Pakistan has objected to Kishan Ganga and Ratle power projects, which are built on those rivers or tributaries of those rivers, on which Pakistan has major control under IWT. So India is saying that Pakistan moved to involve World Bank was unilateral and unauthorized, and that's why they are not accepting this court of arbitration under World Bank and their verdicts. Ministry emphasized that India as a sovereign nation is not, again you can read all these things, we cannot honor treaty when it is in suspension, and no court including court of arbitration, blah blah blah. Condemnation, ministry labeled the arbitration a charade, and again things are going on, talks are going on. What is court of arbitration? Created under which organization? Indus Water Treaty, and created by World Bank, not a permanent body, constituted whenever needed, whenever a dispute arises with the involvement of third party like World Bank. Created under Annexure G of IWT. Have a look at it, and this is important. Where is Kishan Ganga? Kishan Ganga is on Kishan Ganga River, which is a tributary of Jhelum, also known as Neelam River in Pakistan. And key feature, it is a run of the river project, diverts water without major storage. It's not like big dam, we are storing a lot of water. No, we will try to divert, but we are not altering the course of river much like it happens in big dams. Diverts water from Kishan Ganga River to Jhelum Basin, and Pakistan is not liking it. So what is the chronology? Kishan Ganga, Neelam called in Pakistan, joins Jhelum River. So it's a tributary of Jhelum. They can ask you, Kishan Ganga is a tributary of Chenab. That will be wrong. Ratle is on Chenab River, Kishtwar district. Again, it is 850 megawatt capacity, one of the largest in Chenab, run of the river projects. We are altering, like diverting water without major storage and without altering the course of the river that much. Like we don't alter anything at all. It's simple small project, unlike large dam. So Pakistan should not have any issue over it, But again, Pakistan is Pakistan. Or anyway, as we have just discussed, under IWT, run of the river project is allowed. So Kishan Ganga, you can see all these tanks and what is happening here. And remember, run-of-the-river projects, we are allowed on Chenab, Jhelum and Indus. In that regard, you have to see Kishan Ganga and Ratle. Court of Arbitration was established under the auspices of which organization? The answer is POSNI, World Bank. Under IWT, which of the following rivers are allocated for use by India? Majorly. Here there should be a word, majorly allocated. So the answer will be Ravi, Vyas and Satluj. Next article, man, this is tough, man. When you're doing it in one sitting, na, like, because it feels like talking through a wall, but it sometimes becomes tough. So 35th article. For the first time, India breaks in top 100 in global SDG rankings. This global SDG rankings to see how much countries are doing to achieve 17 goals and 169 targets, sustainable development targets, which has to be achieved by 2030. This SDG ranking is published by UN SDSN, Sustainable Development Solution Network, created by UN around 2012 to overlook how to achieve sustainable development goals by 2030. And they could. So India has broken into top 100, which is actually awesome for the first time. Anything happening for the first time is really important. So India has ranked 99th out of 167 countries in 2025 SDR report. First time in top 100. SDG score is 67 out of 100. So if you attain 100, that means you have attained all 17 goals, 169 target, up from a rank of 109th in 2024. China 49th, US 44th, India 99 out of 167 countries. Really good. What about our arch enemy Pakistan? We are doing better than Pakistan. Ha ha. We are doing better than Bangladesh. Ha ha. We are doing worse than Nepal, worse than Bhutan, worse than Maldives, worse than Sri Lanka. But that doesn't matter. The only thing which matters is we are doing better than Pakistan and Bangladesh. Modi hai to mumkin hai. That means if Modi sir is here, everything is mumkin. Just like we have eradicated unemployment in our country, there is no one who is unemployed now. We will eradicate everything. Will become a developed nation. So India's progress over the years, you can see 99th right now, SDG index, 17 goals set up by UN in 2015 to be achieved by 2030. Remember all those SDGs, guys, they are very important. They can directly ask you EPFO, SDG 5 is what, SDG 10 is what, 5 into 2, 10. They are both related to inequality, gender and normal inequality. So again, have a look at this. Remember it, SDG 2, zero hunger, very important. So many organization aims to food and agriculture organization, etc. Their aim is to eliminate or attain SDG 2. So these are some important SDGs. Really good. And again, only 17% of SDGs are on track to be achieved according to SDS in this report. Top performers, European nations, they are doing awesome. 19 out of top 20 are from Europe. Challenges, climate change, biodiversity loss, you can read all these things, authored by economist Jeffrey Sachs and UN SDSN, Sustainable Development Solution Network. Important, guys. UPSC asked, in UPSC and other exams, state PSCs, they ask a lot of questions on SDGs. So have a look at this question, try to solve this question. India has entered the top 100, correct? A score of 100 indicates full achievement, correct? India is ranked higher than China. Higher means better, like, lesser than China. That is the basic meaning. You may feel like India is ranked 99 and they are better. No, India is ranked lower. Like, hope you can understand in which context it is written. So third is wrong. So the answer is 1A, 1 and 2 only. Sustainable Development Report is published by UN SDSN. Telangana to seek opinion of MPs on Godavari Banak Cherla project. So what is happening here? Godavari Banak Cherla project. Andhra Pradesh is diverting water from Godavari to Banak Cherla, which is a part of Krishna Basin, and because again that is water deficient region. And Telangana is saying that this is not done. You are diverting water of Godavari without asking us or taking our permission. Like in Gangs of Wasseypur, somebody said permission leni chahiye thi. That means you should have taken our permission. You did not do that, so we are not liking it. And this is against the State Reorganization Act of 2014. And you are diverting water of Godavari. That can lead to water deficiency in our region. So they are seeking opinion of MPs and they are not happy with whatever Andhra Pradesh is doing. Telangana government consult. So remember, Godavari Banak Cherla project wants to divert water from where to where? They will say that it wants to divert water from Krishna to Godavari. No, Godavari to Banak Cherla, which is a part of Krishna Basin. So Telangana has asked center to reject this report under review, and they are saying that Telangana is saying that center is siding with Andhra Pradesh because Telugu Desam Party is there, which is an ally of BJP, and that's why this whole thing is going on. They're not taking into consideration the views of Telangana and its government. So, Godavari Banachela project, proposed water diversion project by Andhra Pradesh, aims to divert water from Godavari to Banachela complex, part of Krishna River Basin. And again, you read all these things. Kurnool district is located, irrigation, and again, there is a water deficit in that particular region. And that's why this project is going on, to reduce dependency on Krishna River by utilizing surplus water of Godavari River. Very good. I don't know how much you can see in this image. Yes, Banachela. Okay. What is the primary reason Telangana opposes Godavari Banachela project? Pause me and try to solve this question, guys. Chepandi Cheputalsu Ledu. Kadu, guys. It diverts Godavari water without Telangana's consent. Permission leni chahiye thi. You should have taken permission. Huma Qureshi, Gangs of Wasepur. Really good. 37th. India unlikely to ratify High Seas Treaty at UN Ocean Conference. So this is High Sea Treaty, which is also known as BBNJ, Biodiversity Beyond National Jurisdiction. It was like, we will talk about all these things. Let's first of all talk about High Sea Treaty, legally binding treaty. So you have India, and then around India you have something known as exclusive economic zone. There are certain water, nautical, territorial water, this and that water. So beyond that exclusive economic zone, beyond EEZ, there is neutral water, right? So to decide how things will happen, how resources will be shared, sustainable sharing and equitable sharing, all these things to protect marine biodiversity, this High Seas Treaty has been, introduced under UN clause. But things are not going the way they want things to go. High sea lie outside any single country's control beyond EEZ, remember it. They have unique marine life ecosystem. How this water will be regulated, for that you have this particular treaty, marine protected areas, EIA, equitable sharing, all these things they are focusing on. Current status, see, adopted in 2023, signed by 47 countries, but it also needs ratification. What is the difference between signing and ratification? I went to some place, I said, yes, I will do it. But then I have to come to my house. I have to ask to my wife. If I'm married, I'm not, but somebody is. If she says yes, then I will do it. That is ratification. So you go outside, you say yes, we will do it. But in India, you need support in parliament, etc. We did not ratify it. So signed by 87 countries, ratified by 49, needs 60. I think US is also not supporting it. India supports the treaty and has signed it, but ratification is pending, as we have discussed. And India has some issues. There are other countries which have some issues, and that's why we are not coming onto a particular, common conclusion here. So India is unlikely, and it is also saying that we will not ratify biodiversity beyond national jurisdiction, which is also known as High Sea Treaty at UN Ocean Conference. Signed, not ratified, because we have to make some amendment in some of our acts, and maybe we are not very happy with it. The ratification. 49 countries ratified, 16 needed, as we have discussed. Jitendra Singh is there in this conference. He's saying India is doing a lot of things. Chandrayaan and all those stuff will happen. Equitable sharing of resource, how you will do it. India is concerned, and we are not knowing how they will do equitable sharing, how much India will get. Everybody is focusing on their pie. So in Dr. Singh spoke about Chandrayaan, India's manned submersible mission. And again, everybody, when you go to some other place, you talk about your family, your son, how they are doing. Similarly, when we go to this, or wherever this meeting is happening, we talked about our achievements. So that's what India is doing here. But what is important, guys, High Sea Treaty, also known as Biodiversity Beyond National Jurisdiction, BBNJ, they are one and the same, not different. And they talk about water beyond EEZ, exclusive economic zone, because they are outside any single country's control. And we have to see how things will be regulated to avoid friction between different nations. And it includes these many things. You can read it in your free time. Let's solve some question. With reference to High Sea Treaty, have a look at this question. Try to solve it based on option elimination. Read all options. So second is wrong, not within, beyond. So if you eliminate second, you will get the answer A1 and 3 only. 38th article. Chandrayaan 2 makes first ever observation on lunar exosphere. First ever is anything first is very important. But before we talk about all these first ever, we have to talk about Chandrayaan 1, 2, 3. Before we talk about Chandrayaan 1, 2, 3, we have to talk about certain words: lander, orbiter, rover. You have these components. So what is an orbiter? So let's say Chandrayaan 2 has an orbiter, so it will orbit the moon. So this is an orbiter. What is a lander? A lander is an instrument which will land on moon, but it will not move, and it will study things. Rover is it will land on the moon and it will start moving also. So these are different components which you have to understand. In that regard, you have to study about Chandrayaan 1, 2, 3, and then we'll talk about what is this whole issue. Chandrayaan 1, 2008, detected water molecules on lunar surface. Very important. And first Indian lunar mission. Mission duration, you can read all these things. PSLV, Polar Satellite Launch Vehicle, was the launching pad for Chandrayaan 1. Chandrayaan 2, 11 years after. GSLV Mark 3, which is now, I think, known as LMV. So object like orbiter, lander and rover. We have discussed orbiter, orbit, lander will land, stationary, rover will land and then will move. So our orbiter is fully functional, but Vikram, which is the lander, it lost communication during soft landing. In Chandrayaan 2, we did not send orbiter because orbiter is already functioning of Chandrayaan. In Chandrayaan 3 rather, we did not send orbiter. So Chandrayaan 3, 2023, GSLV Mark 3, soft landing happened for the first time, and successful soft landing, it carries the lander Vikram, rover program, no orbiter, because Chandrayaan 2 orbiter is working fine. So remember these words, orbiter, lander, rover. When was Chandrayaan 1 launched, Chandrayaan 2, Chandrayaan 3. This article is about Chandrayaan 2. It was deemed a failure at that time. There was a new, image also, Modi sir is consoling, ISRO head and all. But it was not a failure, guys. Only lander failed. Your orbiter rover were there, especially orbiter was working at its awesome capacity. And this Chandrayaan 2 has made this observation. First ever observation on lunar exosphere about CME. So sun's outer layer, it emits certain solar flares, solar winds, which is known as CME, coronal mass injection. Outer layer is known as corona, and they eject certain stuff which is known as coronal mass injection, solar flares, solar winds. It disrupts telecommunication in India, means India I'm saying, on Earth. It leads to creation of those auroras which you see on in northern hemisphere, etc. That happens because of this ejection, solar flares, solar winds. It also impacts moon because moon has a, unlike Earth, they have thinner atmosphere. And Chandrayaan 2 has observed what is the impact of these ejections on lunar exosphere or lunar atmosphere. Chandrayaan 2 made the first ever observation. And they have seen the pressure on this moon's thin atmosphere increases because of coronal mass ejection. And in our case, Earth case, because our atmosphere is so dense, we are not impacted much by CME, but still some impact is felt. Telecommunication impacted, as we have discussed, aurora, etc. So discovery will help scientists better understand lunar exosphere. We are still trying to understand how these things work. We are still in the learning phase, CME and its impact. Okay, what else, guys? Shape on these, guys. Finding highlights challenges for future lunar habitats, because again, CME has much more impact on moon than it has on Earth. And many people are like, why we are not settling on moon when there is too much population on Earth? Maybe this is one reason. The impact of coronal mass ejection is much more on moon, and it will impact, it may have cause certain amount of radiation effects on our body much worse than what is happening on Earth. So again, you can read all these things. We have just discussed what is important. Chandrayaan 1, 2, 3, launch year, lander orbiter rover. Now let's solve some questions. Use option elimination. You will be able to answer it. So second is wrong. Vikram was unsuccessful. It was, we lost contact, and that's why that image thing we were talking about. So second, you eliminate. You are left with A and C. Third, you have to check. Achieve the successful soft landing. Yes, if you go back, you will realize that statement is correct. See this? Demonstrates safe and soft landing on moon southward. So C is the answer, 1 and 3 only. So that's it for part 3, guys. There will be one more part. I'll be bringing it tomorrow. And khatam. All 4, 50 most important current affairs will be done. Like, share, and subscribe. Spread the word. If you feel like I'm adding to your knowledge base, you can donate at this number 9650303257. If you need, this 50 most important current affairs PDFs, there are 2 PDFs with all these PYQs and MCQs in the solution. So you can again message me at the same number 9650303257. So again, we'll talk from 39 to 50 tomorrow. Take care, be blessed. Tata, bye bye. Hello everyone, my name is Shubham Saga, and this is the last part of 50 most important current affairs. So I have, there are 2 PDFs. If you want these PDFs, you can send me a WhatsApp message at 9650303257. But 2 PDFs, but 4 parts of videos, because in videos you need explanation, right? So 50 current affairs will be done after this video. If EPFO current affairs 2025. Most, if not all, questions will come from this. If it doesn't come, you can kill me, you can eat me alive. Like Modi sir told na, after demonetization, that if demonetization is deemed a failure, चौराहे पे खड़ा करके आप whatever you can do to him. So again, it was a success. Same way, this will be a success. No, I'm serious. It will not be like demonetization. The questions will come from these current affairs only. My name is Shubham Sagar. You can connect with me on LinkedIn. This is my Telegram channel, and you can join this Telegram channel because I do daily Hindu analysis. Right now, it's fine, this whole revision of 50 current affairs, but ideally you should be doing current affairs every day. So daily Hindu analysis PDF I upload in this Telegram channel by evening. So you can join this. It will help you in be disciplined when it comes to current affairs, which is the fulcrum around which maximum, government exams revolve. So 39th most important article. Remember, when I'm saying 39th most, it doesn't mean at the hierarchy, the first is the most important. All 50 are equally important, guys, whatever we are discussing. And we are seeing how we have to read these articles. So hydropower projects on Chenab got clearance. We have seen Indus water treaty. It's in news. Means Operation Sindhu, all these stuff. So anything related to Indus water treaty is in news. So Chenab, and we have discussed Indus water treaty in the previous parts also. Chenab, Jhelum. So on these rivers, Pakistan has major say, but we can still make run of the river project, and that's what we are doing. We are making Sawal Code project on Chenab River, and this is one of the biggest run of the river projects which will be happening in our country. What one of the biggest? This is the biggest run of the river project which we are planning. Official describes that largest run of the river project in India. So do remember it, Sawal Code, where this project is proposed, Chenab River. So whenever we go ahead with these kind of projects, we do environmental impact assessment. All these things have been done. Not that important from EPFO perspective, from when we are talking from prelims perspective. But what is important is on which river it is located. We have discussed in previous parts also what is run of the river project. Unlike major dams, big dams, mega dams, it does not change the flow of the river much. You minimally alter the flow of the river. You don't make big dams or reservoir to store river water, so to say. So run of the river project. So again, you can see the numbers, they have given the clearance. We are not concerned with that much. For detailed analysis from UPSC CSE perspective, you can watch my Hindu analysis of which day, 11th October 2025, for this news. But for now, Sawalkot, Chenab River majorly to be utilized by Pakistan. These are the things which we have to keep in mind, and you can read all the other facts in your free time. But India is like, and again, this is happening at a time when IWT is suspended. In this water treaty is suspended. We have suspended it until or unless Pakistan do away with cross-border terrorism. So now let's solve some questions so that we can remember stuff in a much better manner. Chipandi Chipatul Suledu, Kadu guys that tell me the answer. Like, oh my god. Koi jo mila tha mujhe Shankar Mahadevan, I'm becoming here right now. Be very like, okay, let's focus, guys. What are the characteristics of run of the river project? Use option elimination here. You can pause me right now. So we have discussed run of the river projects. They don't require complete diversion. This is extreme. Complete diversion or maximum diversion happen in mega dams. So we have discussed this third, and this is not the first time we're discussing it. So you eliminate VCD, you'll get the answer A1, 2, and 4, even if you don't know these things. And that's what happened in UPSC exams. It's conducted by UPSC, be it NDA, CDS, EPFO, or CSE. They will give you these kind of option elimination. Don't get flustered by, oh my god, there are 4 statements, I will commit suicide. Don't do that, guys. Don't commit suicide. Just do option elimination, smart work, hard work. Which of the following rivers are allocated primarily to Pakistan under Indus Water Treaty? Primarily, majorly. So what are the rivers, guys? Use option elimination and do Chepandis with me. Chepandi. Some people say Radhe Radhe. For me, that Radhe Radhe is Chepandi. I love Chepandi. So, everything is fine. My OCD. So the answer here is allocated primarily, right? So Ravi Satlaj is not. Chenab and Jhelum. A, 1 and 3. They're asking for Pakistan, right? Pakistan, our arch enemy, Shahid Afridi. 40th. So Ethiopia inaugurates Africa's biggest dam despite protests from downstream Egypt. Here, this is important from so many different perspectives, guys. Geography, environment, UPSC, PFO, CSE, current affairs. So what is downstream, upstream? For that, you have to understand. So what is happening? Ethiopia, they are making this Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam on Blue Nile River. So this is you can see here, the river is originating from here, Blue Nile, White Nile, they are merging together and they are making Nile. And Egypt is getting maximum river from Nile River. So this is the upstream part and this is the downstream part. If something is happening here on Blue Nile, so it will impact the flow of water which is going to the Nile River, which is going to Egypt. And Egypt is dependent, around 97% of water comes from Nile. So that's why Egypt is not very happy with this Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam, and they have lodged complaint in United Nations Security Council. So we have to remember this, really, really, very important. Ethiopia, and for detailed analysis, you can watch 10th September. For now, EPFO, this will suffice. Oh my God, this will suffice. Ethiopia inaugurates Africa's biggest dam. Anything biggest, largest, first crush, first kiss. Everything is important, guys. Despite protests from downstream Egypt, you can understand why. Once you have seen the map, you can understand. Now, here there will be alliances which will be formed. There will be some countries who will be supporting Ethiopia and whatnot. What is important from EPFO perspective is where it is built. Blue Nile River, Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam, Africa's largest hydroelectric project. They can ask you which of the following is Africa's largest hydroelectric project. Largest, biggest. Oh my God, that is so large. Great achievement for all black people. Anyway, they're known for large things. Oh my God. So again, it is unifying Ethiopia, which is facing a lot of turbulence. We'll talk about it some other time. Kenya, Somalia, they are with Ethiopia. So there will be some pro-Ethiopia group, there'll be anti-Ethiopia and pro-Egypt group. All these things will happen. Egypt is not happy because water flow to Nile will be impacted. They are dependent on Nile for 97% of the water. And they're like, this will be an existential threat to us. I was, watching some reels, etc., which we all do. So there I have seen most of the tourists who go to Egypt, they're like, oh my God, people in Egypt, they exploit you so much. They will sell you let's take an example, $5 water bottle at $30, $40. So not a very good image, guys. If you see reels, you will realize what I'm saying. So, okay, cool. So Egypt has launched a protest, and again, you can read all these things in your free time. Really good. Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam. Let's solve some questions. It is located on which river? Japanese, guys, Japanese, Blue Nile. And anything else? Next question. Again, basic, simple question. See, here also, revise the previous parts very minutely. There will be some tricky articles which will be coming now, but yes, there were some very, very tricky articles in the previous three parts, so you have to revise it. Japanese, guys, means they are important, guys. Okay, next, 41th, like we still have 10 to go, including this article. Singapore backs India on patrolling Malacca Strait. When you will see UPSC, CSE, and UPSC PYQ's previous question, you will see UPSC ask a lot of questions on straits. Strait, narrow water body connecting two larger water bodies. Isthmus, narrow landmass connecting two larger landmass. Panama Isthmus connects North America and South America. Strait, there's so many states like Malacca Strait. It connects Andaman Sea with South China Sea. Since Andaman Sea is a part of Bay of Bengal, so they can also say that this Malacca Strait, they connect Bay of Bengal with South China Sea. So Andaman Sea, South China Sea, Malacca, Strait of Malacca. Nearest major city or whatever location if you want to call it, Singapore is there, Kuala Lumpur is there. So keep it in mind. And they can also say Strait of Malacca connects Bay of Bengal with South China Sea, because Bay of Bengal, as we have discussed, Andaman Sea is a part of Bay of Bengal. Similarly, you have to focus on the other important strait. UPSC has already asked a PYQ on Bering Strait. It's very close to international date line. Strait of Hormuz is very important. Strait of Gibraltar connects Mediterranean Sea and Atlantic Ocean. Very important. We are focusing on Malacca Strait right now. Pak Strait is important. Pak Saf. Taiwan Strait is in news. China, Taiwan, they are fighting, and Japan is also having a look at it. So again, so many, you can understand where I'm going with this. Then there'll be a Dover Strait here. So all these states are important. Revise it, guys. If UPSC has, let's say, asked it in CSE, there's a very high probability that they will ask you in EPFO as well. As we keep on saying, if you're giving UPSC CSE, you will see what questions UPSC has asked in NDA, CDS, and other exams. Same goes here. Cool. Cook Strait, important. So let's focus. Blah, 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 blah. So now here, India wants to patrol this area because it is a part very close to Andaman Sea, and we are concerned about China and other things. So Singapore is like, yes, you can do that. It backs India on patrolling Malacca Strait. So again, good for our security, good for all the other things. Again, you can read all these things in your free time. Just remember the thing which is very important from exam perspective is where is Malacca Strait, what it connects, what is basically a strait, what is isthmus. These are the things which you have to keep in mind. Oh my God, cheap and these. Okay. PYQs, guys. Which one of the following can one come across if one travels through Strait of Malacca? Asked by UPSC in 2010. And I have shown you the map, the important places around Strait of Malacca. Chepandis, guys. The answer is Singapore. Why it is called Singapore? Because people are singing all the time there. What they are singing? Kadile, kadile, kudu 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 re, kadile. This is the song they are singing. It is a song of movie called 96 of Vijay Sethupathi. Very good. I love Vijay Sethupathi. I love this movie 96. So I insisted my sister and his husband to watch it. I was in Kolkata where my sister is, and they slept. I was the only one who was watching it. I felt so bad. Okay, let's focus, guys. PYQ UPSC 2008. Which one of the following state is nearest to international date line? Focus, guys. Don't get, you know, I will keep on telling you stories and all. Strait nearest to international date line. Bering Strait. I have just shown you that. Strait of Malacca connects which of the following water bodies? Pause me right now. Chepandi is me. That means here Chepandi is an umbrella word. I have told you. Chepandi is pause me right now and try to solve this question. Everything is fine. Chepandi is everything is clear. Working awesome. Why do I act like this? So, Strait of Malacca connects what? It connects Bay of Bengal and South China Sea. Ideally, it connects Andaman Sea and South China Sea, but since Andaman Sea is not in the option, Andaman Sea is a part of Bay of Bengal, so this is the best possible option. In UPSC, CSE, EPFO, you always have to choose the best possible option. Best. Who's the best? I'm the best. I'm the best. I can do it. God is always with me. Today is my day. I'm a winner, guys. You have to say these 5 things every day. Affirmation is a thing, positive affirmation is a thing. You become whatever you say. If you say you are a failure, you will become a failure. If you say you will crack UPSC EPFO and make me proud, you will crack UPSC EPFO and make me proud. Tiger found dead with power missing in Madhya Pradesh. Again, with due respect to the tiger uncle or auntie here, we offer our condolences, as you know, our honorable Minister Rajnath Singh sir says, whenever something happens heinous, he's like, we do kadi ninda of this, excessive criticism. So similarly, I'm offering condolences. What is important here is Satpura Tiger Reserve. Where is it? Madhya Pradesh. What are the important tiger reserves in our country? This map is important. Tiger reserves in India. So Satpura, we are talking about Madhya Pradesh. UPSC has already asked questions on Dampa Tiger Reserve in Mizoram. Satkoshia is important, Odisha. There was a time when it was a tiger reserve with 0 tigers. I'm sorry. Dudhwa is asked a lot. Uttar Pradesh, you know. Corbett, Rajaji. Rajaji. Okay, and Ranthambore and all. You can have a look at this map, guys. This is actually important. Kaziranga, Manas, Namdapha, UPSC has already asked a question. Pakke and all. Baksa in West Bengal, Sundarbans. So all these tiger reserve, keep it in mind. There's NTCA, National Tiger Conservation Authority. As the name suggests, they are concerned with conservation of these cutie pies. Look at them. And NTCA has been created under WPA, Wildlife Protection Act, which was amended around 2005-2006. National Tiger Conservation Authority. The head is not PM. The head is MOEFCC, Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change. So these are the facts which are important, which we have to keep in mind. Rest, we offer our condolences. We are very, very sad. There's this tiger uncle and auntie. It has died, and we want to cry as our ministers and political leaders cry when something happens. So near the boundaries of Pura Tiger Reserve again. What is important? Pura Tiger Reserve, where it is. Postmortem was conducted by NTCA, created under which act? Who is the head of NTCA? All these things are very important. And then the tiger reserves, where they are located. Satpura, Madhya Pradesh, establishment declared, and you read these things. UNESCO status, it is a part of UNESCO Biosphere Reserve, like you see Panchmali Biosphere Reserve. We have also earlier discussed Biosphere Reserve, National Park, Wildlife Sanctuary, how they are somewhat different. You know, provisions are much stricter in national park than wildlife sanctuary. A biosphere can be a superset. Inside one single biosphere, there can be multiple national park and wildlife sanctuary. Oh my god. And then there are other differences also, core-zone, buffer zone, transition zone, this and that. But this is one major difference which you have to keep in mind. So this Satpura is a part of Panchmali Biosphere Reserve. They can give you. It is a part of Nilgiri Biosphere Reserve. That will be wrong. Very good. So have a look at NTCA. We have discussed about NTCA, statutory body, MOFCC, headquarter, blah, blah, blah. Chairperson, remember, they will write PM is the chairperson. That is actually wrong. So let's solve some question. NTCA established under which of the following, guys? And Chepandis. Chepandis means speak fast now. Let me take a pause also. I cannot be Sankar Mahadevan. Koi jo mila jo mujhe blah, blah, blah. So I have to sometimes take a break. Oh my god. Why do I do? Oh my god, because I love, oh my god, I love Chipmundies. These are my favorite words. So NTC established under WP 1972, amended in 2006. B is the answer, guys. Next article, 43rd. Gujarat start first genome, tribal genome project. Anything first, your first love, your first crush, your first kiss, and this. Everything is important, right? So first tribal genome project. started by Gujarat. Tribal people, they're known for their alienation. They want to preserve their culture, their community ownership concept, and also sometimes they are somewhat aloof. We don't know much about them. So this project has been started so that we can know something about them. And sometimes, if we don't know much about them, and if they catches some disease, that may wipe out their population, right? So this is mainly from health perspective, this first tribal genome project which has been started in Gujarat. So state level initiative, Gujarat has become the first state in India to launch a genome sequencing initiative, especially for tribal communities. And this has happened here, like in Gujarat. So we are happy for Gujarat. Initiative is called Tribal Genome Sequencing Project. What is important from exam perspective? They can ask you which state has become the first state in India to launch a genome sequencing. What is the purpose here? To identify genetic health risk within tribal population, enable precision healthcare. So this is from health perspective. You also have to understand why this has been or this has started. Project is being carried out. You will read these things. I'm not reading. Now, let's solve some MCQ. What is the primary objective of Gujarat's tribal genome sequencing project? What is the best possible option, guys? This phone is such a bad thing. You are always scrolling the phone, right? I hate it. कोई जो मिला था मुझे ऐसा लगता था जैसे So yes, sir. To enable precision healthcare through identification of genetic health risk. Next question, 44th most important article. Australia hosts largest first drill involving 19 nations, including India. So they are hosting these drills, And obviously China is very angry with this. And this is known as Talisman Sabre, this exercise. It is a biennial exercise. These words are important, guys. Biennial means once in 2 years. Okay, so biennial, once in 2 years, involving US and Australia, but other countries are also participating in it, and China is not liking it. The largest ever war fighting drills in Australia. Exercise Talisman Sabre. They can ask you, and they can say that Talisman Sabre is an annual exercise. That is wrong. It's a biennial exercise. You need to know. This is biennial, once in 2 years, and then there is biannual. These are different words. Biannual means twice in a year. So these things, keep it in mind, guys. They're not the same. Largest ever war fighting drills. China is spying it because obviously we all are concerned about China's and stupid activities which they are doing. Xi Jinping, when you read UPSC mains, you read about China from mains perspective, international relations, GS mains paper 2, you see his policy is aggressive aggrandizement. He's fighting here, there, everywhere. So that's why we are perturbed. And yes, Talisman Sabre is directed towards them. So HIMARS missile launch again. This is part of Talisman Sabre. They can ask you HIMARS was associated with which country. So Australia launched missiles from high mobility artillery rocket system. Already questions have been asked by UPSC related to missile system, this and that. So you have to keep it in mind. I think Barak, they have already asked a question on Barak. If you know Barak missile, which country is associated or list, associated with it or made it. So you can post it in the comment section. So HIMARS also. Australia launched it and they have acquired it from United States. So US and Australia are two key parties involved with HIMARS, HIMARS. Very good. Location, again, it happened here. You can read all these things. Started in 2005. This is important. Biennial joint military exercise between US and Australia. So these are the keywords which you have to focus on. Right now, 19 nations. All of them are, and basically it is about protection of Indian Ocean, protection of our territorial sovereignty, and we are not liking what China is doing. So obviously participating country will not include China. So this is also one way when they ask you to solve some question on Talisman Sabre, and they will ask you that participating countries are this and this, and if China is the option, obviously you will eliminate it. This is called common sense. But in high pressure exams like UPSC, EPFO, CSE, etc., common sense will not be that common, so you have to be very proactive in that regard. For the first time, the part of exercise being held outside Australia and Papua New Guinea. Chinese surveillance ships are monitored last year and last 4 iteration rather. And Australia is saying that they will again, they are surveil it again. Let's solve some question MCQ. Consider the following statement about Talisman Sabre and try to do option elimination here. So again, it's not an annual military exercise, guys. So first, if you eliminate, it's a biennial, right? So if you eliminate BCD, you'll get the answer 8, 2, and 3 only. Very good. Next, which of the following countries participated in 2025 exercise Talisman Sabre? And again, pause me right now and try to solve this question. You have these options. Have a look at them. Everything is fine. Chippendies. Chippendies means everything is awesome. So which countries participated in 2025 exercise Talisman survey? Obviously, China cannot participate. This is mainly directed against China. So eliminate third, you will get the answer A, 1, 2, and 4. Like, share, and subscribe, guys. Spread the word. Make me popular. If I'm adding anything to your knowledge base, you can also donate. All these are ways of you to support me. And then, if you want, these PDFs, these 50 most important PDFs, you can send me a WhatsApp message at the same number. What number? This number, 9650303257. And then the 45th most important article. These articles are also telling you like how you have to study these articles from UPSC perspective. Like here, Amit Shah sir, we all love him. There was a movie in our time, Nayak, Anil Kapoor. There was Amrish Puri and his somebody, his secretary or something like that. There was one guy in that movie who reminded me of Amit Shah sir, although Amit Shah sir is more awesome. And yeah, zonal council are engines of cooperation and not just discussion forums. So here there is some zonal council, Eastern Zonal Council meeting is happening. Amit Shah sir is attending it, 27th Eastern Zonal Council meeting. Now, this zonal council, they are statutory bodies created by Act. Whenever you are reading, and this is called parallel study, this is called smart study. So whenever you are reading about zonal council, at the same time you have to read about interstate council, interstate and zonal council. You will read about them parallelly, guys. We will talk about all these things. This is the most important part here. Whenever any article comes on interstate council, revise zonal council also. Interstate council, constitutional body, Article 263. Zonal council, statutory, State Reorganization Act. Here, interstate council, PM sir is the head. Zonal council, Amit Shah sir, Home Minister is the head. And again, interstate, state issue, interstate. Zonal council, it has been divided into different zones. If you see this Eastern, you see this. Northern, Central, Eastern, and right now the meeting between Eastern Zonal Council is happening, how resources will be divided between Bihar and Jharkhand, how PSUs they are performing, all these talks. And then there is a separate Northeastern Council zone, like, created under separate Northeastern Council Act. These are created under State Reorganization Act. So you don't have to remember all the states which are there in these councils. What is important from UPSC exam perspective, BTPFO or other exam, these things. Zonal council, which is statutory body, who is the head. Interstate council, they're not meeting enough because PM sir is most of the time outside our country, visiting one foreign country after another. I'm just joking. Maybe we can make Home Minister sir as the head of interstate council, then they will meet enough. They should meet, right? Because this is a constitutional body, unlike zonal council, which is a statutory body, and they meet more regularly. PM sir has so many work, guys. So maybe he should let go of this, uh, should not be the head, right? If you cannot meet enough. But again, who are we to? Because Modi sir, if he is doing certain thing, he knows more than us. He's an avatar of Vishnu, according to Anbhakt. So let's focus, guys. Zonal Council's transformation, Union Minister Amit Shah sir is very happy, and he's saying that these are engines of cooperation. 27th Eastern Zonal Council meeting happened. We are not concerned with these things much. I have told you what is important from exam perspective. Issues related to division of assets, liabilities happened here, and blah blah blah. Very cool. Bihar and Jharkhand, and increased frequency. Zonal council meetings are happening more often, but interstate council, they are not meeting enough. PMC does not have much time. Decline has happened in Naxalism, almost eradicated. So this is one achievement of the current government, which nobody can take away from them. Cool. So now let's solve some questions. Which of these are statutory bodies? So use option elimination. Try to solve this particular question. So we know interstate council is a constitutional body, right? So second is wrong. Now you're left A and B. Zonal and Northeastern, they are both statutory bodies. Zonal Council, your State Reorganization Act. Northeastern Council, they have their own Northeastern Act or something. So B, 1 and 3 only. We have just discussed this. Northeastern Council, their act was passed in 1971. This Northeastern Council Act. So yes, sir. B, 1 and 3. Good question, guys. If you don't revise these questions, you will forget them. Solve this. Which of the following articles of Indian Constitution provides for establishment of interstate council? Answer is A. Next article, 46th article of the day. 5 more to go, including this. Police resort to lathi charge and tribal villages in Jharkhand and Hool Divas. Modern history is important. So Hool rebellion, that is important. Hool Divas, which is known as Hool rebellion. And Santhal rebellion is also known as Hool rebellion. UPSC has already asked questions on Ulgulan. Munda rebellion is known as Ulgular. So these facts are important. What has happened in Jharkhand? So there is a place in Jharkhand, Bhognadi in Sahibganj district, where protesters were celebrating Hool Devas, and then some firing happened, lathi charge happened, tear gas happened, not firing happened by police, and protesters are not very happy. Police said that protesters were hitting them with bow and arrow and all. So Bhognadi, why it is important, you have to remember which place we're talking about. Bhognadi, where it is, Sahibganj district in Jharkhand. Why it is important? Because it is like places in news, people in news, they are anyway important. Modern history. It is associated with Sidhu and Kanu, who led Santhal rebellion, which is also known as Hool, Santhal Hool, so to say. Villagers were saying that these police, protest led by again the district administration dismantled their separate stage and denied them permission. All these things, and that's why they were protesting. And then police lathi charge. And police were saying that they fired, they used bow and arrow and all these things. So again, who attended it, who did not attend it, that is not which party is saying what. We are not concerned with that. What is important is why is Bhognadi important? Because this is the birthplace of Sidhu and Kanu. And why Sidhu and Kanu important? Because they led Munda rebellion. What is the other name of Munda rebellion? Munda al Hul. They can also say Hul rebellion. So remember it. Ulgulan has already been asked by UPSC. Let's solve some question. With reference to Bhognadi village, consider the following statement, guys. It is the birthplace of Sidhu Kanu, located Dumka, hold historical significance for Santhal rebellion. What is the correct answer? Use option elimination. Always use option elimination. Nobody knows, like even in EPFO this will happen. You won't know more than 40% of the question if you're awesome. But you have to do option elimination. You have to solve as many questions as possible. And cool. On this, in this channel only, you can see my mark sheets also, UPSC CSE mark sheets, etc. There are many students of mine who I taught who cleared UPSC EPFO. Some gave interview. You can even go in the post section, you can see all these things. So yes, many people who have cleared PSC, state PSCs and all these things. So you will get these things there. First of all, let's focus, guys. So first is correct. It is not located in Dumka district, guys. If you go here, Sahibganj district, not Dumka district, Sahibganj district. Here also you can see Sahibganj district. Here also Sahibganj district. So what we were discussing, I forgot. So the second is wrong. Second is wrong. You eliminate second, you will get the answer B1 and 3 only. Very good. 47th article. PM inaugurates India's first bamboo. Whenever I say bamboo, I want to laugh. I have a dirty mind. Bamboo. So what is this article all about? Anything first is important. So they can ask you. E20 ethanol blending is anyway in news. And so in that regard, ethanol C2H5OH has become very prominent right now. It will replace petrol, or in a way minimize the use of petrol, thereby saving our precious money which is used in petrol import or all these things. So in Assam, Golaghat region, world's first green bamboo bioethanol plant has been set up. Not only India's, world's first, guys. So anything first is very important. Modi sir is here. Modi hai to mumkin hai. So Prime Minister Narendra Modi sir inaugurated India's first bamboo-based bamboo ethanol plant in Golaghat district. Now remember, bamboo was earlier considered a grass. Then, you know, there were some changes happened in forest acts, and it was considered as a tree even in non-forest area. So if you like, when bamboo is classified as a tree, or anything is classified as a tree, let's say if government classified me as a tree, then if you want to cut me you have to take government's permission. And then they changed it. They were like, no, bamboo is a grass. So now bamboo is a grass in non-forest area. In forest area, it is still guided by that Forest Rights Act provision, but in non-forest area, bamboo is treated as a grass. And that's what Modi sir is, I think, talking about. You will see that. So they will be using bamboo and they will be producing C2H5OH ethanol. First zero waste facility. You can see all the other stuff. Numaligarh refinery, Golaghat district, and project aims to strengthen energy security. Again, our import bill will be reduced. We will reduce dependence on fossil fuel import. That's what he is saying. We have to become Viksit Bharat by 2047. Modi hai to mumkin hai. So again, Modi criticized past governments for classifying. This is important. More than the criticism part, this bamboo as a tree, bamboo as a grass thing, you should know. Remember, bamboo is considered as a grass in non-forest area now, but bamboo is still considered as a tree in forest areas, and it is guided by Forest Rights Act. So these are some facts which you have to keep in mind. Who has launched this project? Who is working on this project? NRL, 4M, Finland company, Came Polish, all these. So big companies are working there. Oh my God, really good. Cool. Let's solve some questions so that we can remember stuff. And when you solve these questions, you also realize you can go back and you can watch that part again where you're making some mistakes. So you can pause me and you try to solve this. Located in Numaligarh, joint venture correct, zero waste facility correct, all these points are correct. The answer is D, all of the above. Very good. You can go back and you can see these points. First, anything first is important. 48th article. Three more to go, including this one. So Umar Khalid, you may have heard about Umar Khalid. See, you may like him, you may hate him. I have no opinion because I love my life and I want to live. But Umar Khalid is under UAPA. He has been charged under UAPA, unlike Unlawful Activities Prevention Act of 1967, and he has been repeatedly denied bail. Unlawful Activities Prevention Act, earlier they used to designate organizations as terrorist. From 2019 amendment onwards, there was an amendment which happened in Unlawful Activities Act. After that, individuals can also be designated as terrorists. So I was searching whether Umar Khalid is designated as a terrorist under UAP or not. Not exactly done by government that, but they have imposed certain charges which very closely resemble to that of terror related charges. So let's see how things pan out. What this article is saying that in this whole process of Umar Khalid and UAPA process itself is a punishment. You are not denying bail. You're not even saying he's a terrorist, but you're continuously denying bail to him. Hampering his prestige. Even if he comes out, what job, whatever, what he will get now. Again, it's not about Umar Khalid per se. It's about UAPA guys. So this is a preventive detention law. Preventive detention means in these kind of laws, even before you have committed a crime, government can book you. Government can put you behind bars. You don't even need to be produced before a court, as is generally the norm. You have to be produced before a court within 24 hours. Habeas corpus. We have that particular a writ, but in the case of preventive detention, they can put you behind bars for 180 days and they can keep on extending it. And that's what they're doing in Umar Khalid case. Whether this is correct or this is wrong, we don't know, but this is happening. So Delhi High Court once again denied bail to Umar Khalid in 2020 Delhi riots. And there was a Supreme Court judgment, Gotali judgment, which made bail under UAPA very difficult. And that's what Delhi High Court is doing. But again, here, Delhi High Court is not very uniform in that regard. In another case, in 2021, another Delhi High Court bench granted bail to three activists in the same UAPA. So it's all like on a case-to-case basis, they are doing whatever they are doing. So article is saying that if people and government keeps on using, or let's say misuse UAPA, it will undermine Article 19, freedom of speech and expression, and Article 21, right to life and personal liberty. You may agree or to disagree with this. You may disagree with this article, doesn't matter. Just remember the provision of UAPA, what is fundamental right, Article 19 and 21. These are the points which we have discussed. Have a look at it. There is a term here which is known as anticipatory bail, which we have to keep in mind. Anticipatory bail is denied in the case if you're booked under UAPA. So anticipatory bail means even before you are anticipating an arrest. So even before you are arrested, you will take a bail. You may have heard this a lot. These kind of bails have been taken by influential people, celebrities, etc. Anticipatory bail. They are anticipating an arrest. Even before arrest happened, they will take a bail. That is denied under UAPA. So keep these points in mind. Low conviction rate. What is the criticism? From Main's perspective, right now you can skip this. So let's say they book 100 people under UAPA, this has a chilling impact on freedom of speech and expression. And then they convict even less than. So 97 go free, 97, 98, and only 2-3%, less than 3% people are convicted. So it is more like a, to ensure people are not speaking against the government, so to say. If we are booking under you under UAPA, finally let you go free, nobody is going to give you job, this and that. Your prestige is gone. So in that regard also you have to see UAPA. So again, you can read all these points, not that important from EPFO perspective, very important from UPSC CSC perspective, GS3 internal security perspective, GS2 fundamental rights perspective, governance perspective. So 5th September 2025, you can go and watch my Hindu analysis of that day for detailed analysis also. Now not needed after exam is over. Let's solve this question. Consider the following statement about UAPA. Try to solve this question based on what I told you. Use option elimination. That will help you in eliminating options here, guys. Read all options very minutely. You can pause me right now. So anticipatory bail is not available, right? That's what we have discussed. So eliminate third, you will get the answer. So I'm telling you, use option elimination. You will be surprised how many questions you can get correct. Anticipatory bail, I have just told you what is the answer. Again, pause me right now and try to solve this question. What do you think is anticipatory bail? So bail granted by a court in anticipation of arrest. When I asked this question in my Hindu analysis, many people were confused between B and C. Bail is never granted by police, guys. Bail is always granted by a court. So the answer is C. 49th article. Two more articles to go, including this one, guys. We are nearing the end of this series. Revise all these articles very minutely. You will thank me later for this. And so again, here you will see SCO heads 2nd September 2025 strongly condemns terrorist attack in Pahalgam. Shanghai Cooperation Organization. Remember, Pakistan is also a part of it. 10 countries are there in Shanghai Cooperation Organization. 10 full members. So it's a strong thing. It's a good thing that they are condemning terrorist attack in Pahalgam. So now again, all these things are fine. What is important from exam perspective? We'll talk about these things. SCO. When was it found? Earlier it was Shanghai 5, and then it was created as SCO in 2001. You see, there are 5 Central Asian countries. Out of those 5, there is one country which is not a part. So, which is part that everybody remembers, but also remember which is not a part. You know, Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, Tajikistan, Uzbekistan. Then you have Turkmenistan. Turkmenistan is not a part of SCA. Remember it. India, Pakistan, they joined together, and Iran and Belarus. So these are 10 countries. Afghanistan is also not a member, so you have to have a look at it. Founding members are these countries: China, Russia, and then 4 of the 5 Central Asian countries. Remember, Iran is not Central Asia. These STAN countries, they are the Central Asian countries. These are the things which we have to keep in mind. And then in this SCO summit, so many things are happening. China is talking about Global Governance Initiative, GGI. In that regard, we have to read about these things. World Belt and Road Initiative, when was it launched? 2013. Remember the launch here. You know, China is trying to recreate Silk Route and all those stuff. GDI, Global Development Initiative, again, China talked about it in 2021. China is trying to become a leader. There is something called as G2 Summit, which happened in Busan, South Korea, something. G2 is China plus US, informal naming. But yes, world is increasingly becoming bipolar. In that regard, China is taking some steps to show itself as world leader. So GDI, GGI, these are some steps taken by them. So you have to understand they are there for which perspective, from which perspective. Global Development Initiative, it's all about, you know, achieving 17 SDGs. How will we achieving it? Now in 2025, Russia-Ukraine war is going on. Israel, Hamas, they are fighting. In that regard, China has proposed GGI, Global Governance Initiative, in this SCO summit. They're talking about China taking a lead in global political order. China is saying that we are not trying to replace UN via the GGI. We just want to ensure that, you know, multilateralism is not lost, and there is something which can be done on a multilateral scale when it comes to minimizing the impact of these wars or stopping these wars. So in that regard, they have proposed GGI. So remember these here, like initiatives, what they are associated with when they were talked about. These things are important. Cool. So now in this 2025 summit, they have condemned Pahalgam attack and all those things. You can read all these things. China, Xi Jinping is also not very happy with US attitude, and that's why India and China, they are coming closer. And that's what was seen in the current SCO summit as well. So SCO 10 members, more than the partners thing, remember the 10 members, they are important, very important. SCO Development Bank, they are agreeing to establish this. They are not happy with what is happening in Gaza and all those stuff. Israel-Iran conflict, Afghanistan situation, it's an observer. Afghanistan is not a full member. Okay, read it in your free time. This is important. More important than this slide is this slide. Shanghai Cooperation Organization, who are the full members, and yeah. Let's solve this question. MCQ. Consider the following countries, which of the above are full members of SCO as of 2025. So use option elimination and try to solve this question. You can pause me right now. First 4 are members, Afghanistan is not. So eliminate 5, you will get the answer B, 1, 2, 3, 8, 4 only. 1, 2, 3, 8, 4 only. Last article of the day, guys, 50th article. What is the new bill to remove PM, CM and ministers? 130th constitutional amendment bill. Remember, it's just a bill right now. It has not become an act. So it is like if you are convicted or if you are arrested, not even convicted, if you are arrested for a crime which is punishable for, you know, equal to more than 5 years, you will be removed as PM, CM or ministers, you know, within 30 days. Like on 31st day, you will be removed if they are arrested and detained. It's not even about conviction, guys. Conviction means you're convicted of a crime. You are proved that you have done the crime. Here it's about arrest also. If you are arrested or detained for a crime where the punishment is more than 5 years, you will be removed. Many people believe it can be misused. You know, ruling parties can use misuses against, you know, opposition rule states, so to say. Provides for, so that is a problem. Provides for automatic removal if arrested and detained for 30 consecutive days in relation to a criminal offense. On 31st day, you will be removed. So maybe in sometimes what happens, there are multiple articles which have been, you know, released or which has been published on this article, this bill rather, and they're saying that sometimes people will intentionally or police will intentionally arrest you for 32 days. Sometimes there are certain laws under which you get bail after a certain period of days, 60 days, 70 days. And in that scenario, if you're, you know, even if you're not convicted, you were in arrested for 50, 40 days, you will not be a minister, prime minister, So again, there is a chance for misuse. It will amend Article 75, 164, 75 union ministers, 164 state ministers, 239A Delhi ministers. Similar provision for J&K and Puducherry. Still a bill, still talks are going on. Still talks are going on how it can be misused, whether 30 days norm is just too less, can it be increased, applicable for PMCM as well. It requires two-third majority in both House of Parliament. So maybe even if the intentions, this article is awesome. They were saying that, okay, you are passing these bills, you're showing to people how serious you are about criminalization of politics, which is a very important thing, very important from GS Mains Paper 2 also, transparency, accountability. But from EPFO perspective, just remember what this bill is all about. This is not even about conviction, this is about arrested and detained for 30 days. Requires two-third majority, so very high probability it will not get passed. And they're just trying to show that they're very concerned about criminalization. So we have framework under RPA, directly mentioned in GS Mains Paper 2. Again, we're not right now concerned with that. We are concerned with EPFO. So if their disqualification happens, if you're convicted for punishment of 2 years or more, convicted, not arrested or detained. Here it is arrested and detained, guys. Even if you're not convicted, but you're arrested and detained for 30 days or more, you will lose your ministership and prime ministership or chief ministership. Limitation of current law applies to membership and not to ministership. So here in this RPA, you will lose being an MP or MLA, but you can still be a minister. Remember, there's a provision. You can be a minister, but you have to become MP or MLA within 6 months. So that is the basic thing which they are saying. Earlier there was a Lily Thomas case, where people were like, they were convicted, they have appeal against that conviction. During that period, they will be an MP and MLA, but that protection was removed via Lily Thomas case. Again, we don't have to do that much PhD. You can have a look at it. You just have to understand the basic premise related to 130th Amendment Bill. You can go through these points and why this has been introduced, because 46% MPs, 45% MLAs have criminal cases, and same goes with ministers. If you are a criminal, you have a higher chance of winning than if you are a clean candidate. Remember Prashant Kishore? Okay. Suggested way forward again. This article is saying that rather than showing how serious you are, why are you giving tickets to these criminal candidates or candidates with criminal records, rape charges, murder charges? Anant is saying there is a MLA in Bihar. So again, self discipline yourself, guys. You political parties, don't just show to people. Do it if you're serious about it. Don't give tickets to these guys. They will not be elected. Consider the following statement about 130th Amendment will try to solve this question. Again, use option elimination, guys. Read all statement. Pause me right now. So we know third is wrong. It does not require simple majority, two-third majority. So eliminate. You're left with A and D. Check the second one. You don't have to check first. Prime Minister, they must tender the resignation on 31st. Yes. If they don't, they will automatically lose. So D is the answer. One and two. Which of the following cases led to Supreme Court striking down Section 84 of RP Act, which had allowed convicted MLAs to retain membership while appeal was pending? The answer is Lily Thomas versus Union of India. You can go back and you can revise these things. So that's it from me, guys, and go through these four parts. They are very important, very, very important, guys. Most, if not all, current affairs will come from these articles, plus the concepts, the things which I have taught you via these articles. So revise it multiple times, watch it multiple times. You will retain stuff. Repetition is the mother of learning. You can join this Telegram channel. I upload daily Hindu analysis PDF here, which will help you in revising current affairs on a regular basis. You can also donate if I'm helping you in any way. If you want these PDFs, you can also send me a WhatsApp message at the same number, 9650303257. Remember, you are your own competition. These are the last days. You don't get bogged down by what other people are doing, how much somebody is studying in library. You are the best. Just say, I'm the best. I can do it. God is always with me. Today is my day. I'm a winner. You are your own competition, and that's what this particular image is all about. So again, these are the answers, guys. That's it from me. I will see you people soon. Take care. Be blessed. Tata. Bye bye.